What's up, y'all? It's TTC, aka the ThunderConductor, and we back for another YouTube video and Twitch stream. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell. If you're on Twitch, make sure you follow and ring the bell. We do this twice a week on YouTube and once a week on Twitch. So let's get right into it, y'all. I got a question for you. What is your favorite bird creature in cEDH? Okay, we gonna have some people who say Ishai, come on, all day, murder board, it's a partner. You can put it with any color combination you want. We got some people who say Derevi, come on, 3 colors. Y'all know that's my favorite brewing, like my favorite brewing amount. Like I like 3 and up below. But some people gonna say, hey, look, ever since the One Ring came out, by far, Derevi is a monster. End the conversation. We're not gonna talk about this anymore. And then we're gonna have some of these new school brothers who say, like, look now, Nadu all day, every day. That's the new bird. It's really ridiculous. We also got somebody saying Bop. Oh yes, we cannot forget about the true OG above all, Birds of Paradise. By far, come on now, even with the printing of Bowmasters, people are still using Birds of Paradise all day. But I want to introduce a new commander from the new Bloom Burrow set that recently came out, and I want to show you all Zinnia Valley's Voice. This commander is a bird bard. And if you know what a bard is, please drop it down in the comment section because I have no idea what that is. But it's a bird bard that's a 1/3, and it's a legendary creature, and it says flying. Pretty good. Zinnia Valley's Voice gets +X+0, where X is the number of other creatures you control with base power 1. Okay? I can deal with that. And it says creature spells you cast have offspring 2, which means you may pay an additional 2 mana as you cast the creature spell. If you do, when that creature enters, create a 1/1 token copy of it. That's the ability that really has been capturing the cEDH community, and everybody's been throwing everybody per storm. It's really been like, oh my gosh, I can have 2 Grand Abolishers, 2 Docksides, 2 Imperial Recruiters, 2 Spell Seekers, 2 Drenth Magistrates for my Stax lovers. The possibilities are by far infinite. And with that being said, I put a vote out to the ThunderConductor community. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are amazing. And after a lot of voting, we came down to this amazing bird. So we're going to be doing a brewing session today. But before we get into it, if you're looking for more ways to support the show, we have a plethora. Everything from our ThunderConductor proxies, it's my way to increase access to this amazing format that we call cEDH. Oh yeah, don't forget about the logo on the back. That's what we do, baby. We also have our ThunderConductor merch. Still that sexy logo in it, and it's the softest, smoothest merch on this side of the internet. Now we also have, like I brought up, we have the ThunderConductor community where you can join free Discord. It's like we brew, we jam games, we have a fun time. But if you want extra perks like jamming games right here on the lives and on the YouTube videos, you want to shout out on our YouTube videos and our streams, as well as free proxies and discount codes. Join the Thunder Legion. That's my Patreon community where they get all these perks and more. And last but not least, you say, AT, I don't want the proxies, I don't want the Patreon, and I don't want the merch. I just want to say one time for the fun time, I love what you do. I want to support you. No problem. Check out the link in the bio. You can buy me a coffee. It keeps me up and keeps the lights on. But let's get right into it. We're brewing Zinnia Valley's Voice. So let's see. So we have a few questions in the chat. From ACR, ooh, could it copy the creature's ETB ability? Yes, that is one of the reasons there are ridiculous high mana intensive, but there's dope combo lines you can do with the recruiters and with Spell Seeker if this creature's on the battlefield and you have enough mana to do it. And we have Open Hand cEDH saying, oh yeah, it's wise Jeskai Spell Seeker and Nala, but Murder Bird. Yeah, almost. Yeah, this is. Think about this as the Jeskai Anala. They're not as good because if we could honestly do the combos with this in the command zone, I would say this is the best Jeskai commander ever printed. But the fact that we have to print it, we have to cast it first, is going to create a hurdle. But it's going to be a fun hurdle because we can still leverage this first ability here, where based on the number of 1/1 creatures with base power 1, we can basically just sit there and either go wide or go tall as a backup plan. But let's jump right into it. Come on now. All right. Starting from the top, we got an empty list. We're having a good time. I like to start my brewings with win conditions. So if you got a win condition that comes to mind, drop it down in the chat. I'm going to start off by, of course, saying we're in Jeskai. Jeskai Breach. So I'm gonna drop in Underworld Breach. There we go. That goes without being said. And you can't do the Breach package without Lion's Eye Diamond. And of course, Brain Freeze. And LED. And of course, at this point, we're probably just gonna go ahead and just jump to the point. Let's drop in Intuition as well. And last one, if we're dropping in Intuition, Savines. How do you spell Savines? As you all can see, I went to school for reclamation. I went to school for mechanical engineering, so as you all can see, my spelling skills are second to none. We have Little Minge saying Spellseeker plus Intuition for combo. Yes, I agree. Since we're already doing the Breach line, we also could add in, that's the full, pretty much the generic Spellseeker combo, and we have the Intuition pile to get there. I actually love that idea, Minge. I love the Spellseeker line in Jeskai colors, because Spellseeker, even though it can be arguments over like, oh, it's too mana intensive, I'm gonna be honest, all the combo lines or combos that start off with one card are so mana intensive. The Spellseeker line is gonna be like a drop in the bucket, so I'm not worried about that. So if we do the Spellseeker line, that means we're gonna need a couple cards. We're gonna need, starting off, it's gonna be Ephemerate, and then we're gonna need Ephemerate. You're gonna need Final Fortune. I'm gonna put in the sideboard Last Chance, but we may not put that in the deck. It depends on how we're feeling. But we have the Final Fortune, Last Chance, and then we're gonna need Enlightened Tutor, and then we're gonna need Line Tutor gets the Breach and the LED, and then the Spellseeker Ephemerate gets that. I believe that's the full combo. Tell me if I'm missing something. I'm gonna hold off on the Hullbreaker Horror line, but I'm gonna definitely throw that into the sideboard. Hullbreaker Horror is one that's actually it's interesting. So the reason this one is such a cool win con with our commander is, it looks like just a value engine, but it's actually an infinite mana, like it's actually like an infinite casting loop combo piece. Like it's its own outlet if you can give yourself your creatures haste or go into another turn. So with Hullbreaker Horror, basically after generating infinite mana of all your colors, what you can do is then you can start bouncing your own Hullbreaker, recast it, and then pay the offspring spell cost to make infinite Hullbreaker Horrors. The tough thing about that though is now it goes from a one card combo with a couple extra pieces, like with just mana rocks, which just come from playing the game, to now we either need to have an extra turn spell, we need to be in our extra turn and have an Angel's Grace and an extra turn, or we need a way to sack all those creatures, which we can get into in a second. But let's hold that one off into the sideboard. So that's not a bad one. That's not a bad one though. Kin Teferi. Oh yes. Cannot leave home without Teferi Time Raveler. If y'all are not familiar, they actually have a new art of this card, which is really, really dope. Teferi Time Raveler with Displacer. Kidding. Basically, you have these and a 0 or net positive rock, and you go infinite, draw your deck, make a shit ton of mana. If you have Angel's Grace, you can make infinite mana, and it's pretty cool. Ooh, now this is an interesting one. Very good. We have Lil Min Shade as well. Shrieking Drake. Now I want to talk about this one. He's such a good one. Let's take the Shrieking out because I'm not about to act like I'm Shriek. Give it to me. There we go. All right. So Shrieking Drake is technically a combo with our commander in Dockside to make infinite mana. And so what you can do with Shrieking Drake is, if I remember correctly, you cast Dockside to make the certain amount of treasures to net positive, and then you'll also play the 2 additional to make 2 copies. Then you'll make Shrieking Drake and pay the offspring cost. You have 2 ETBs to bounce. Because what Shrieking Drake says is, when it enters the battlefield, return a creature you control to the owner's hand. So you can return the Shrieking Drake itself off the original ETB, and the offspring can bounce the original Dockside. And then you loop that as long as you're making, I can't remember, at that point you need to make what?
you don't have to offspring the original Dockside. So if you're paying 2 for Dockside, then you have to Shrieking Drake offspring. So if you make 6 treasures off of the ETB, you basically go infinite, and that's pretty cool. The only thought that comes to my head, and the reason I kind of want to keep this one in the sideboard for just a little bit, is because the only reason that's coming to my head, I want to possibly keep this in the sideboard, is because my thought is, what am I doing with Shrieking Drake in the 99 prior to comboing it? Like, I like how I can I'm not gonna lie, I like that I can cast it. It's just a regular, even without the offspring, it still bounce a creature. No, I control, so it always be bouncing my own creatures. That's gonna be in the same category as Hullbreaker Horde. A really good combo, but I'm gonna throw that one to the side. Let's see. Shrieking Drake, I might have built this already. But I to get you a non-combat element. Yes, Blind Obedience. Yes, I like Blind Obedience. This will be a not blind. Blind Obedience. All right. Blind Obedience. Throw that in there. Blind Obedience, if you're not familiar, it says artifacts and creatures opponents control in the battlefield tap. So this is a great Stax piece that Jeskai almost needs, because it can fall prey to the Dockside decks. Big ones are Magda and Sensei and any red plus deck that can leverage Dockside. So being able to say creatures and artifacts in the battlefield tapped, plus being an outlet for once we have infinite cast, which our commander really wants to do with this offspring ability and all the bouncy things. So I think Blind Obedience is a great include. And speaking of infinite cast, we have to add Dockside, because gotta add Dockside Extortionist, mainly because I want to add Baron Master Wizard to this deck. I want to have the Baron Master Wizard Dockside combo in the deck, because this entire combo is tutorable with the Recruiter of the Guard, and Imperial Recruiter. So basically, the combo line I had in mind, because both of these have power toughness that is 2 or less, you can start off with Imperial Recruiter, paying the offspring cost to go get 2 ETBs from 2 copies from the original and the copy of Imperial Recruiter, and you can do the same Recruiter of the Guard, get Dockside and Baron Master Wizard. You make infinite treasures by, I think the Dockside count needs to be 6, I believe. Yeah, because it costs 2 and sacking a treasure to do the Baron, to first activate Baron's ability, and then you need 2 more treasures to recast the Dockside. You need to net 1 treasure, so you need 6 treasures, and it's very mana intensive. So you need the prerequisite of having your commander on board, pay 3 plus 2, and then your Dockside. If you have no more mana after paying that 5, 6, 7 with the Dockside, then you'll need the Dockside to make at least 7 treasures, which is fine because we're playing cEDH. That's possible. You can then, with those 7 treasures, pay 3 for the Baron, 2 to activate the ability, sack a land to start off with to return the Dockside, and the last 2 treasures from the 7 treasures can still let you do the loop. So I like that, and I like how we have the recruiters that can start that combo off with our commander. Let's see. We got DCM for a 5 CMC double copy target tutor to get you a WinCon. Parasitic but leaning on the Grixis is just gonna win vibe. DCM. What is DCM again? Spell that out for me. I'm having not Dragon Region. Let's see. Oh, Dual Caster Mage. Ooh. Now, Dual Caster Mage is an interesting one. This one I want to talk about for a little bit, because I actually want to get you all's opinion. Is dual as in Dual Caster Mage. I want to talk about this, and I want to get y'all opinion. All right, so Dual Caster Mage is a combo that I usually don't run in my decks unless I'm doing like black red or like something like. I usually don't run them in the Jeskai decks because we already have so many good combos, and but this deck is already going to be mana intensive, thus it may be not slow but slower than your Turbo Grixis piles. So my thought is
Dualcaster Mage may be viable because we're already running Spellseeker that can go get Twin Flame and Molten Duplication, and we have both recruiters that can go get Dualcaster Mage. And if we really want to talk crazy, real crazy, technically, just hear me out. Technically, we could go, if our commander is out on board. I know, y'all, this is crazy, but you could go cast Imperial Recruiter, pay the 2 Offspring. We're just in brainstorm mode. That gives you 2 ETBs from 2 different Imperial Recruiters or Recruiter the Guards. First ETB, go get Dualcaster Mage. Second ETB, go get Spellseeker. Cast the Spellseeker, go get Molten Duplication or Twin Flame. And now you have the full combo. As long as you're in your first main phase, you can go infinite. I'm not against that. Let's throw it in. Let's throw it in. Dualcaster Mage, Twin Flame. And this is also a finisher as well. I'm going to add in Molten Duplication. No. Molten Duplication. And I'm going to actually, for now, sideboard Heat Shimmer, because we can't actually tutor that one off of our Spellseeker. But I like this one because this can target any creature on the battlefield, meaning that you don't need the prerequisite of having a creature like Heat Shimmer has, or on the flip side, having a creature or artifact for Molten Duplication. Let's see. Now I'm gonna run Twin Flame for now, just because at the end of the day, I do believe having a creature on board with the number of creatures we're gonna end up running, I think that'll be fine. I don't think that's the end of the world, and I like that we can tutor that one out with Spellseeker. So let's see. I think Shrieking Drake is 1 Dockside count less. Let's see. Could be wrong though. Let's see. Shrieking Drake. So it calls Shrieking Drake plus the Offspring. That's 3 mana. Plus you have to recast the Dockside. That's 5. Plus, so you need to net 1 treasure from that. That means 6. That means you go with Dockside on board. That goes Shrieking Drake plus 2 to Offspring. And now bounce the original Shrieking Drake plus the Dockside, and then you have to recast the Dockside, and then make that cost 5 mana, and to loop it will be 6. But if I did that math wrong, let me know. Let's see. Okay. Kinted Fairy, Spells Intuition. Are we missing any other win cons we want to add? Because eventually we're gonna have to add in. We can add some 0 mana rocks right now. We won't hit them all, but we'll hit a lot of them. Of course, we're gonna add in Soul Ring to go with this Teferi and Mana Crypt. And while we're at it, why not Mana Vault? I like Mana Vault. It's not the best thing. One of the tough thing, it's not the best thing in this world because we're not going to need it for our commander, but we have enough colorless pips that we're going to need just alone from the Offspring casting cost of things. I think Mana Vault may be useful. Plus it does go infinite with the Teferi and Displacer Kit and help cast the combo as well. Let's see. Keep dropping win cons. Let me see. Am I missing anything? Let me see. Let's go into the bag. Let's see. I don't think there's any win cons. Like, we got Breach, Spellseeker line to get Breach. We got both recruiters to make combo lines to get Dockside, Baron, Master Wizard. You know what? Okay, so this one I want to get y'all opinion on. How do y'all feel about Cloudstone? When I was searching around looking at other decks, I saw some lists running the Cloudstone Curio combo, and they were actually running, what was it called? Transmute Artifact as a way to get your Cloudstone Curio, your Phyrexian Metamorph, your One Ring, and your LED. You just couldn't get almost any of your artifacts in your deck. And since we're in Jeskai colors, this one's an interesting one. Like, how do I say this? My only pushback on Cloudstone Curio is that when it's not winning, it's not doing anything. On the flip side, though, if we can go back to Shrieking Drake can one thing about Shrieking Drake is that it can bounce around creatures to our hand, which we technically really need in this deck. If I can be fully transparent, like one thing that we have to recognize with this commander is that ability right here, this offspring ability, is a cast trigger. So if the creature we want to copy is already on the battlefield, we need to have a way to put it back into our hand. So clone abilities and bounce spells are going to be premium in this list. With that being said, I think there may be a universe where I actually want to run Shrieking Drake over Cloudstone, because outside the fact that it's it costs a blue instead of 3 colorless, potato. But the reason I like Shrieking Drake a little bit more than Cloudstone is because we can get it with our recruiters, and we can either choose, depending on how much mana we have available, to go double recruiter for a Dockside Shrieking Drake or double recruiter for a Dockside Baron Master Wizard. What y'all think about this? Yeah, higher density of CT rocks is it. Let's see, nothing that I would have run. I thought Kraken was a bit overcosted in my opinion. I agree, but it's like I could run with Kraken if we can, like, if Kraken was a 1/1, we could go recruiter into Hullbreaker, well, not Kraken, Hullbreaker Horror, and then flip that Joan around to do something. Like, the only reason I can tolerate Baron Master Wizard is because we can do things like, for example, I actually have to add this in here. I need to add Muddle the Mixture into this list. Why? Because after we make Infinite Treasures with Dockside Extortionist and Baron Master Wizard, we can bounce our Imperial Recruiter back to our hand to go get Spellseeker, and then use Spellseeker to go get Muddle the Mixture, and then transmute Muddle the Mixture to go get Blind Obedience to kill the table. So that, and Muddle the Mixture also does not, it just gets a lot of win cons, gets Brain Freeze, gets Underworld Breach, is good tutor. But let's see. Nothing I would run. I thought Kraken was a bit overcosted in my opinion. Let's see. I think Shrieking Drake and Baron is correct for that reason. I agree. Yeah, because I was originally thinking, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking Cloudstone, but I just think the malleability you get from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, both of these are things that bounce. Like, granted, with Baron, it costs to bounce it, but I think bouncers are going to be important for this list because we have to cast. So let's go Shrieking Drake. All right, Shrieking Drake in. So we got 2 Dockside combos now. We're officially a Dockside deck, y'all. Let's see. Switch printing is, I like that printing. All right, keep it coming. Something I found with Balin is leaning on your RW creature tutors. RW creature tutors getting the all pieces, so you can tutor if you could tutor A if you draw B, or B if you draw A. Hullbreaker doesn't work on that axis. I agree. Yes. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So what Lilith mentioned saying something I found in Bailey is leaning on your red-white creature tutors, i.e. our Imperial Recruiter and Recruiter of the Guard, because they can get all pieces. So you can tutor if you can tutor A if you draw B, or B if you draw A. And the thing about Hullbreaker Horror, and I really agree with this, is it doesn't follow that axis. The thing about Hullbreaker Horror, yes, you can make infinite Hullbreaker Horrors, but what do you do after that? And if we don't have a recruiter or some type of effect to either draw our library, to mill our library with a breacher, we have nothing to do other than pass our turn and hope we have enough instants and sorceries in our hand to, after bouncing our opponent's board, to keep the energy going. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep the pressure on opponents to hope we can untap. And really, honestly, in the tournament setting, I really don't like Hullbreaker Horror, because if we were to take this to a tournament, we may not have time to pass the turn and get it back to us. Like, one of my homies actually just had a tournament. I forgot which tournament. It was one of the largest ones that was recent, where his pod slow played when he just needs to untap and win the game. And I forgot what the scenario was, but they intentionally slow played instead of letting him get the win. It was just like they played it out really slow. So just to avoid those type of situations. Yeah. Okay. Any more win cons? Drop them down below. Any more win cons? Let's see. Dockside Baron, Shrieking Drake, Recruiter of the Guard, Imperial Recruiter, Dual Cast Mage, Spellseeker. Am I missing anything? From the Spellseeker line? I don't think so. Let's see. Intuition, Final Fortune. We'll hold off on Last Chance Till We See. Yeah. Okay. I think we have all the win lines that I'm interested in, but just for the funsies, I'm going to go ahead and top stuff. Jesky's next best is like Mystic Forge. wait. Let's see. What was Mystic Forge again? Was this the castle on the top of your... Oh, yeah, that's the colors cast on the top of your library. You can only cast artifact spells. Nah, I like the direction we're already in right now. If we add Mystic Forge, then we're definitely going to have to go transmute artifact, and I don't know if we want to start having to go and pit recruiters into... I don't know if I want to have to start going from recruiters into Spellseeker into transmute artifact to get the artifacts out. I like the direction we're in right now. Yeah. Let's I am still gonna do this though, just for the funsies, because I love doing this. I'm going to look up Jesky combos. If I put in cEDH, we'll actually bring it up. Jesky combos. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm glad I did this. Yes. Let's go ahead and add in Smothering Tithe. Smothering Tithe works, and it said Windfall, but we can just start off with Wheel of Fortune. Because we're definitely going to want Wheel of Fortune. And for the now, let's throw Windfall into the sideboard. I'm not sure if we want to be a hard Wills deck, but that is there. I'm glad I caught this one. I think Jesky's next bets are much worse. Let's check it for us before we shoot it down. So I like that. I was already gonna want to add Smothering Tithe because we are gonna be like a big mana deck, and because we're not in green, we have to lean on cards like Smothering Tithe, which honestly we're gonna add to the deck either way. So we keep going. We're not gonna add a Hinata. Nope. Keep it going. Nope. These are all commander-centric combos. Nope. Oh, do we want to do Jessica's Wheel of Fortune? That's a question. What up, Zulu Zach?
So, hey, how do y'all feel about chat? How do y'all feel about Jessica's Wheel of Fortune Underworld Breach? If after it allows you to cycle through your graveyard, and because we're white, we can have silence. What's it called? We can have silence effects to silence people as we're wheeling through our deck until we hit our brain freeze or other thing. I think I want to add. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we got 0 cost to 100%. Yeah. Let's go ahead and add that in. Yeah, let's add Jessica's Will. That's easy pickings. And I'm gonna start this up because I don't want to forget Witch Enchanter. I don't want to forget that. I want to eventually add that in. Witch Enchanter just popped to my head. We'll think about that one later. But let's keep going. Let's see. Nope. I don't know. I love Elshire. It's too common now. People are playing it. Sekili Ride, Fellow Dark Guardian. No. Yeah, no. This is no. I think I'm fine running Teferi because that's just a generic silence effect, even if we're not doing the other combo. But no, yeah. These are any. Nope.
None of these. Zulu Zach, we're doing a brewing session right now for Zinnia Valley's Voice. It is a 1/3 flyer that costs Jesky to cast, and then the ability that we're really leaning on right now is that Offspring ability. It says all creature spells we cast have Offspring 2, so we can pay an additional 2 when we cast a creature spell to have another copy, a 1/1 copy, into the battlefield, and so we can get double ETBs and do a lot of crazy shenanigans. Let's see, big ups on Fairy Mastermind and Ledger Share as double able creature card advantage engines and yard fillers. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna finish win cons. I want to talk about that. I actually really want Fairy Mastermind. Yeah, I already know for a fact I want one fairy mastermind. Let me just throw that in right now. Master. Come on. Mastermind. I know for a fact I'm going to one fairy mastermind. I love that card so much. Ledger Shredder is one where I'm going to throw that one in the sideboard, though. Because we have that new frog draw engine. I cannot remember what it's called. Is it called? What's it called? Y'all drop in the chat if you can find it before I find it. What is that joint called? It's called Polywog Prodigy. Not the 20 tote, the Polywog Prodigy. I'm not sure if we want this. I'm going to leave it in the sideboard. We can talk about that when we get to draw engines. But this is one, I think, purely off the fact, I kind of like it, but the only thing is the offspring ability is not going to trigger it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and our commander is not going to trigger it either. So this one, I'm going to leave this on the sideboard for now, but I'm going to think on this one just for a little bit. But let's finish out win cons real quick. Nope. We already drew Satya and that side net. If you've played Satya or if you see my recent Satya list, that junk has been purring. I kid you not. I've been loving that list so much. We can make infinite treasures with this, and it can allow us to draw our deck out, and that's all cool. But I don't know what we would do with Zerda, so I'm gonna pass that. Nope. Was it? Nope. Oh, I know we haven't got to fast mana yet, but we have to add Lotus Petal. What was I thinking? Lotus Petal is technically part of the Breach combo. And when we're using Brain Freeze, we'll get the rest of the fast mana soon. Let's see. Best view, not past that. Let's see. Polywalk makes a 1/1, which gets to evolve off practically everything. True. Very true. I'd rather run Cursed Totem than Zerda. Do we need? Well, we can't run Cursed Totem because of because it only bounce creatures. That's actually not a terrible idea. Cursed Totem. I'm gonna throw that on the sideboard because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Magda and Sensei are still running amok in this meta, so we're gonna throw that sideboard. But we just threw Lotus Petal in. Let's see, is there any other win cons? We're already on Teferi Kitten. None of that. We're on Dualcaster Mage right now. Keep going. Nope. That's more Elsha stuff. That's more that. Past it. Oh, what is this? No, because you could. I'm looking at this combo only because you can replace Archaeomancer with Pinnacle Monk, the new red MDFC. And this is not a finisher. This is only a infinite mana loop. And though I can see we can easily add Pinnacle Monk in, we don't need infinite mana. And then I would still need to find Cloud Shift. No, I actually saw another Zinnia list playing Cloud Shift, and I asked him about it. He said he liked the value of flickering the ETB, but I'm gonna pass on that for now. Let's see. Nothing else. No, nothing else. Almost done. All right, I'll throw this out there. We can make mad. I want to throw Goblin Bombardment in the sideboard. Please hear me out. Hear me out. I want to throw Goblin Bombardment in the sideboard only because after we do infinite creature bounces with the Shrieking Drakes and all the other things, we can sack all the infinite creatures we make off the Offspring ability, the Goblin Bombardment. Granted, it is the only thing about it is it's not like Blind Obedience, where Blind Obedience is never a dead card. Goblin Bombardment, I don't think it's gonna be online all the time. Let's see. I'd rather run. Let's see. Could you slide in a Kiki Jiki combo? That's a good question. Kiki Jiki. So my pushback on Kiki Jiki combo is the Kiki Jiki combos that come into my mind is, for example, Kiki Jiki and what is that? Combat Celebrant. And we can only get Combat Celebrant with Recruiter of the Guard. We can't get Combat Celebrant with Imperial Recruiter. And you know what? I'm gonna throw it in the sideboard. Let me throw this first Goblin Bombardment, please. Thank y'all for appeasing me. I'm gonna throw Kiki Jiki into the sideboard. Yeah. And yeah, we'll just throw combat accelerate in the sideboard as well then. The reason I'm gonna throw that in the sideboard and not into the main board is because right now we're technically already running the dual caster mage, twin flame, and multiple duplication combos in R99. My thought process is we already have a combat finisher and all of those cards are online all the time. We already have a lot of crazy strong ETBs, so Molten Duplication and Twin Flame can really be used as basically more clone effects. And Dual Caster Mage, if we're not comboing with it, can always, in addition, just be a, yo, I'm copying your tutor, I'm copying your counterspell. You know what I'm saying? So I think we'll hold off on Kiki Jiki. Let's see. Yeah, that's fair. Not having green makes Kiki Jiki much worse. Yeah, because we can get Kiki Jiki with both our recruiters, but it's super expensive and it doesn't follow. If y'all haven't seen this, check out that link right there. The 5 mana rule. We had a 5 mana rule discussion that all the most powerful cEDH combos fall at or under 5 mana. And if you think about it, it's crazy how much it does. This rule works. You think about Thassa's Consultation is 3, Thassa's Tainted Pact is 4. If you think about intuition lines, it basically goes, you cast intuition for 3 on the end step, you untap. 9 times out of 10, they will give you LED. So after cracking LED and tapping 2 lands, you can Savines back, discarding your hand as well, but you can Savines back and pop out the Savines, and that's 5 mana. Like, a lot of these combos are just 5 mana combos. Like, even if you think about Dockside, Baron, Master Wizard, just vanilla minus the recruiter part of that combo. Dockside, Baron, Master Wizard. This is cast Dockside, use the excess treasures to keep the combo going, but just by themselves it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you have 6 treasures, you can do the rest of the combo just naked, just off the Dockside. But that's a 5-minute combo. And with our commander route, Shrieking Drake is a similar situation with that. So I think let's try to keep that 5 mana combo rule in mind, not as fully as like all the combos have to be 5 mana, but just keep it in mind that we want to make sure that we stay in efficiency during our brewing. So let's see. Let's finish. We gotta finish looking at these combos. I laugh every time I see Goblin Bombardment. Funny story, I used to love that card when I used to play just kitchen table Magic, just no ban list, no nothing, and we just didn't know infinite combos, so we were doing regular stuff, so it was just so much fun. And I remember when I first discovered Goblin Bombardment in this tokens list I made, so it was like so much fun. I'm looking at not this combo as a whole, but Mox Amber. I want to throw this in the sideboard because I actually don't run Mox Amber in any of my lists, but this is one I can think about because it works so well with all of our combos, and we need a lot of mana to do like the combo lines. So I'm gonna throw that into the sideboard. Let's keep going though. Nope. We're not adding Birdie Inquiry to this list. Thassa's Oracle is a question that we can ask is, do we want to add Thassa's Oracle as a finisher? After playing Satya for such a long time now, I'm going to throw it into the sideboard, but I honestly will probably say no, because Jeskai's strength is in its ability to interact with people before we pull off these high mana lines, and Thassa's Oracle is one of the deadest draws you could ever get. And you will always be frustrated when you draw that top card. You're like, man, if this was a lightning bolt, or if this was like anything else, I could stop them and then win on my turn. And it doesn't do what we want it to do. Let's see. We have Zulu saying, with the infinite combos is compact, impact trimmers something to slot in. I will throw that into the sideboard. That is not a terrible idea. Let me throw that into the sideboard. So if you all are not familiar with Impact Trimmers says, and I want to throw this in the sideboard for a specific reasons. Impact Trimmers says, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, Impact Trimmers deals 1 damage to each opponent. So the reason I'm going to keep this in the sideboard, the same reason the Goblin Bombardment, it's not doing anything in between the time where we are playing the game, interacting with the table, and winning. I can see that if we want to lean all the way in onto the commander's ability, that's cool. But I still think I want to keep that energy of blind obedience, where it's an outlet plus it's a Stax piece. I want to keep that same energy. Let's see. We make infinite bodies. Bombardment can at least kill a hate bear in a pinch. That's fair. That's fair. That's true. That's fair. That's true. That's a very, very good point. Goblin bombardment, because we are making so many creatures, can remove a hate bear. Okay, that kind of puts Goblin bombardment above impact tremors at that point, because we don't need them to kill on ETB. We can just have them kill after once we sack them, because it can hit a creature or a player. Okay, good. That was a good one. Okay, let's finish out combos. Thassa's Oracle is one I want to side on the sideboard. Throw that sideboard for now. And I don't think there's any more combos that's really we need to really see from this. I think we got everything we need to see. We're not doing no Niv Mizzet shenanigans. No Orvar. No, we're not. We're not gonna do any Orvar shenanigans. Nothing with Storm Killing Artist. I used to love that card, but in the year of 2024, our Lord. Ooh, now another one. I want y'all, let me know how y'all feel about Blasting Station. It is an artifact that whenever a creature comes into play, we may untap Blasting Station. So if we are, after making infinite mana, we can have infinite creatures and then tap the artifact to do 1 damage to target creature or player. But it's tap and sack a creature. So it's actually an extra step off Goblin Bombardment, and it costs an extra mana. That's the instant worst bombardment. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, like, if it just said tap and do a damage to target creature or player, I don't think it's worse. I think if we were doing transmute artifact shenanigans, I would think Blast Sensation over bombardment, because it would be more easily tutorable. But we're not even running transmute artifact. We haven't got to tutors yet, but I don't see us running transmute artifact, so I'm gonna keep that one actually in. I'm gonna throw that one into the considering, actually, because we've considered it. And what's that chunk called? Blasting Station. Yeah, thought I could. Blasting Station. Yeah, it was thought about, and we'll move past it. Nothing else. Let's see. All these are like commander-centric combos. I'm very surprised there's so many combos with, where's that commander? This commander. So many combos with this commander. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And that's it. All right, cool. If y'all haven't seen any more combos that I missed, please drop them in the chat. Or in the just down there in the comments, and just let me know, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, so I think we're good as of right now. We're 30 cards deep. We haven't touched lands yet, but we're good. We have a lot of cool combos. We got the Teferi Displacer, Baron, Dockside, Shrieking Drake, Dockside, and the Commander. And we also have combo line enablers. We also have a great finisher with Dualcaster Mage Twin Flame, both as an interaction spell and also as clone effects with these. We're running the Breach lines, Jessica's Wheel of Fortune, got the Savines for the Intuition. I think we're good. And we got the Line Tutor and Ephemerate. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, we'll hit more rocks in a second. But this is a solid core. Let's move on to tutors. Okay, let's see. We already have Enlightened Tutor, Mystical, Muddle the Mixture. Let's add in Mystical Tutor. And let's see. Drop some tutors down. Ooh, want to throw in Born in just because end of turn shenanigans. Do we want to throw in Born? Our combos is so mana intensive that going for a Born one is not a terrible idea, because the only outlet right now that we have 3 finishers on board in our deck right now. We have Dualcaster Mage Twin Flame, which doesn't work with Born. We have Brain Freeze that does work with Born, and we have Blind Obedience that works with Born. I like that 2 of our finishers can be tutored with Muddle the Mixture. Granted, that's a sorcery speed tutor, but Born. Yeah, let's do that. I'm not against it. Let's see, Born upon a win. Let's just throw that in. Let's see. There we go. All right, throw Born in. And actually, while we're on instance, I'm gonna throw in Angel's Grace right now, because if we have Angel's Grace in our list, I'm gonna actually throw this in the sideboard for now. But we can make Fairy Mastermind a finisher. You can go Angel's Grace with Fairy Mastermind and Angel's Grace and force draw the entire table. If they try to interact with the cards they see, you throw another 1,000 draws in the stack. And this is just with infinite mana, with the plethora of ways to have infinite mana. So I'm gonna actually throw this one into the sideboard. I'm kind of leaning more on board because I think we're gonna be we not slow but hard in the mid range, if what I'm saying. Let's see. It turns all your 3 CMC tutors into intuition. It's a lot of mana, but in theory, yes, they turn from 3 CMC. It's still 5 mana. That's the tough thing. That's going to be the hurdle. But technically, yes, we need a shit ton of mana. But with Born anyway, we're looking to store up treasures either through our mana rocks or our Smothering Tithe or to do shenanigans. And we can also do a Breach line with Born. So yeah, I'm not against it. Let's see. It makes the dumb 10 mana turn like 8. Break that down a little, Mitch. What you mean by it makes the dumb 10 mana turn 8 mana? How do you feel about Imperial Recruiter and Captain of Eos? So we definitely have both recruiters. Captain of Eos. What does that one do again? Let's see. Ranger Captain of Eos. Oh, 1,000,000,000%. Thank you. Oh yeah. Ranger Captain. Yes. 100%. Yes. Let's see. Got the recruiters. Got the Ranger Captain. Let's see. What are the tutors? Keep dropping tutors. Let's see. Let me see. Let's look at my list. Tutors. Let's see. Let's see. E-Tutor is a little turbo slanted for me. I'm gonna say this. E-Tutor allows us to do the Spell Seeker line, so we actually can't take Enlightened Tutor out. Not to mention, Enlightened Tutor actually gets a lot of our combo pieces. You know what I'm saying? Main one is just Underworld Breach. Not to mention, we don't have it in the line list yet, but all of our Esper Sentinels, Rhystic Studies, Mystic Remorse is just a great piece to be able to get a lot of our advantage engines as well. Let's see. Other tutors, though. We have Intuition. This is the tough part about Jessica. There's not a lot of tutors. Oh my gosh, there's not a huge amount of tutors. Let's see. I'll throw Transmute Artifact in the sideboard, but I'm not really pressed on it. Because we're not running Cloudstone Curio. I'll just throw that into the sideboard. Gamble. Where y'all at? Let's see. Yes. Gamble. I think Gamble is not wonderful. I have to push back against that. I think Gamble's amazing for any deck that does breach lines, mainly because you can do it early game to try to get advantage in engine out. It's hit or miss. It is what it is. But when you're pushing your breach lines, depending on how late game you waited or how stacked up your graveyard is, that Gamble can be an entire intuition. It's fucking ridiculous. 100% I want to run Gamble. Let's see. I don't think there's any more hard tutors that I want to touch on that I can think about. Personal tutor, that's the sorcery speed tutor. Let me reread this tutor. Personal tutor. Let's see. This one, search your library for a sorcery card, reveal it, then shuffle, put it on top of your library. I'm gonna throw this one in the sideboard now. It's not a no. Let's see what the list looks like when it's finished. The pieces that it gets, unless we have a way to draw it off the top of our library, I don't want to put a Twin Flame on top of my library past turn and then give everybody a turn to prepare. And the same for Wheel of Fortune or Jessica's Will. If you give people a turn rotation to prepare for you, then it'll be less effective. But it is a tutor in Jeskai colors. That actually reminds me of What is that 2-mana tutor that gets a blue instant speed? Mystical Z, if you don't have that. Yes. Thank you, Chad Rays. We have Mystical Tutor. What's that? It's a 2-mana tutor. It costs a colorless and a blue. It's sorcery speed. It says search your library for instant target blue instant spell, and then Merchant Scroll. All right, that's one that I actually, let me see, Merchant's Scroll. So this one is a maybe. This is not a guaranteed 100%. It's kind of in the same category as Personal Tutor. I want to see how the list falls into place, but depending on the number of blue instants we run, Merchant Scroll could be a line that is also tutorable by, of course, Spellseeker, but we can actually also go get our Intuition, our Muddle the Mixture, and it can be a tutor for a tutor, which, coming from Rionia Fire Dancer, if y'all don't know anything about me, I love tutor for tutor. So I'm not going to leave this one in the list forever. I'm just going to leave this one in the sideboard for now. It's a thinker. If you add top, that improves those ones. If you add top, that improves those ones that put it on top. Oh, Sensei's Divining Top. I want to throw that one to. Okay, so this is my thought process. I want to hear you all's drop in the chat your opinions on this. My thought on Sensei's Divining Top is, if we add top, then we're all like, I'm gonna feel inclined to want to run Counterbalance and or Power Balance. You know what I'm saying? And I'm already not a huge fan of Counterbalance and Power Balance, not because they're bad. They're actually very good. I've seen some good Power Balance games as well. I know it's a new card. But my thing about Power Balance is that, and Counterbalance, is it's revealed information. And based off my play style, it's a tough sell for me individually to go, hey, go ahead and reveal every card that you draw. Even if you have a draw engine, you're just revealing cards, and it's hard to play more close to the chest when everyone knows what's in your hand card by card. And if you play against people like me, I'm the one who's gonna be writing stuff on the side of the game. You know what I'm saying? So those are definitely no's. I definitely want to throw them in the sideboard. Sensei's Defining Top. Defining Top. You know, I'm just gonna do Sensei. That's not how you Sensei with an EI. Yeah, that's it. There we go. And Counterbalance. And then what's this new one? Power Balance. Yeah, we'll throw those into the sideboard. Let's see. Top is low value without the combo, and this just isn't the deck for that, in my opinion. The Magdamine are super low on power balance. I love that name for your group. The Magdamine. I love that. Because they're dwarves. I love that. Yeah, now I think Sensei's Top is cool, but I think I would feel better about them if they were either part of a combo, like Lilith Minch said, or in addition, if we run Counterbalance and Power Balance, and it's not too much for my play style. Never thought of running top with Counterbalance before. Stream for the note. Yes. Oh yeah. That's what you've never done, Counterbalance or Power Balance top. That is a whole thing, because you're able to change, you're able to manipulate the top of your library in very disgusting ways, and you basically make 1-drops undoable, because at any time if someone casts a 1-drop, whether it's a tutor, counterspell, or whatever the fuck, you can always crack your top, put it on top, and then reveal for Counterbalance, and they'll never be able to drop any more 1-drops. Granted, it's better to search your top 3 first, but yeah. I think that's all the tutors we're gonna get for these colors, though. We'll know more about whether we want to add in Merchant Scroll once we see more of our instant package. But let's go to card draw. Like, this is easy. Rhystic Study. Let's see. Mystic Remora. Let's see. Can't wait to see Glab countertop control. Glarb counter. Tasker is back, baby. Let's see. We got Mystic Remora, Rhystic Study. What else do we want? I'm not against the One Ring. Let's do the One Ring. I took it out of my other Jeskai list, but it's a very good draw engine for what it does. The One Ring. What other draw engines? Archivist. Archivist of Ogma. Oops. Of Og. Here we go. Archivist of Ogma. That's a good one. Sentinel. Thank you, Esper. Esper Sentinel. Definitely. Let's see. Archaeac is much better. Let's see. Archaeac. What is Archaeac? Oh, Wandering Archaic. Are you saying Wandering Archaic? Oh, okay. I'm gonna throw the. That's not a terrible idea, but I'm gonna throw that one into the sideboard. That seems like a lot. My thing is, I feel like 7 mana for doubling Wandering Archaic seems tough, because I'd rather pay 7 mana to win the game than 7 mana to double people's instants and sorceries, or all non-creature spells. Instants and sorceries. I think that's a meta-dependent call. I actually can't give a full opinion. That's meta-dependent. Let me see. Rhystic Study, we got that one. We got Rhystic Study, and we got Mystic Remora. Let's see. Do we have... We have Fairy Mastermind. Let's see. Oh, we can start talking about Ledger Shredder and the Polywog Frog. Okay, so my opinion on Ledger Shredder is I think it's a great card. I don't like that it's not actual card draw. I don't know why. Especially when you're making clones of this, I hate because let me rephrase this. I enjoy the act of interacting with people, and what I find whenever I play Ledger Shredder in cEDH is that because I enjoy the act of interacting, because I put a lot of interaction, I don't really play a lot of stacks. I prefer on stack interaction. My hand will get shredded by Ledger Shredder. No pun intended. But I just find, for me personally, like, even though it fills up the graveyard, I feel like it's not doing the objective that I want it to do, which is put cards into my hand. It's more like sculpting the hand, and it's good if you're adjacent to a Rhystic Study or a fish, but at that point, I'd rather run something else. I'm actually interested in this Polywog Prodigy over a Ledger Shredder, because this can... Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value less than, I just think this may have mad potential. You know what I'm saying? Because the 1/1, I like what Little's mentioned said earlier. The 1/1 copy, if you were to have your commander out, the 1/1 copy triggers off almost anything. And this itself has power. Has power 1. So the minute you cast, and let's look at how realistic is it? Let's see. We have Archivist that can trigger this. I'm never going to do a value displacer. I don't agree with that. Dual Caster Mage triggers it. Fairy Mastermind triggers it. Ranger Captain triggers it. And that's it. And our commander won't even trigger it because this is a 1/3 and our other thing's a 1/3. I don't know, y'all. Convince me. Let me see. Let's see. Trouble in Pairs is just not good enough. I disagree respectfully. I think Trouble Pairs is good. I think when you're in blue, I don't think you need Trouble in Pairs. Even though it draws a shit ton of cards, it's just that double white. I feel like when you're in blue, you have Rhystic Study, you got Esper, you have Fish, you have so many good draw engines for less mana. And the One Ring is the exception to that 4 mana for a draw engine because it's all colorless mana. But I do want to throw in Trouble in Pairs into the sideboard, just in case some universe we may change our mind. Let's see. Open the other forms in CA, or are we just doing draw? Other forms of card advantage. Drop. Let me see. Yeah, drop the suggestions down. Yeah, let's see. Let me hear. Polywog is great. Does the token come in before the OG? Let's check that. Let's check that. Does the token come in first, or does it come in afterward? You may pay an additional 2 mana as you cast a creature spell. If you do, when that creature enters, create a 1/1 copy of it. No, the token will come in after it. Damn. Let's see. Is that token? Damn. That was a good idea. But no, the token comes in afterwards. Oscillate Pride. What is that? I've never seen that card. Oscillate Pride. What is this card? Okay, maybe I should learn how to spell. Let's see. This comes up. Awesome.
What's this? Oh, Oscillate Pride. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn. Oh my, so many people have been talking to me about this card. Okay, so I kept saying no for my Satya list just because I felt like it was too slow for what I was trying to do with that list. This one, I'm interested. Talk to me, Lilith Mitch, talk to me about how you were seeing this as card advantage. This one, I'm gonna throw this to the sideboard. I want to hear more about what you were thinking about that one. Like, I'm not seeing the line for the card advantage for that one. Let's see. There got to be more card advantage than what we have, because right now, this is unacceptable. We only have Ristic Study, Mystic Remora. I'm gonna throw Polywalk Frog, and I'm gonna be honest, like, we gotta have more card draw engines. Mystic Remora, Ristic Study, that's 2. The One Ring is 3. Born is not an engine. I'll count Will because it's a substantial draw. That's 4. Let's see. Polywog, Fairy Mastermind, and Arcus. That's 7 draw engines. I'm not in love with it. I don't know why. What are we missing, y'all? Oh, it copies every offspring at end of turn. What does it do what does it do for us when we're not doing the beautiful thing of copying the offsprings? Because this is part of my playstyle. I don't think that synergy is bad. Part of my playstyle is I'm very commander off-centric, where I enjoy having commander synergy, but I want the cards to still do something substantial. Because it says, at the beginning of the instant, if you gain life this turn, create a 1/1 white cat creature token. Then if you have City's Blessing, for each token you control, create a token that's a copy of it. I'm not completely sold. Keep going. Deep Gnome, that's mana. That's for lands. I'm gonna throw that in the sideboard. That's not a terrible idea. I'm gonna throw that into the sideboard. It's not a bad idea. If you are not familiar, Deep Gnome Terramancer is a colorless and a white flash 2/2, and it says whenever one or more lands into the battlefield under your opponent's control without being played, you may search your library for a plains card, put it onto the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle. Do this only once each turn. So it's great early game ramp, and the reason I would definitely want to have this in the sideboard that I can actually see putting in the deck later is because our combos take so much mana. Making sure we can actually get ahead of our land drops seem really, really busted for this deck. Because if we can present a turn 3 before win line, not just because Dockside's big, but because we just, including our rocks and land base, can just shove out hella mana to pay for the offspring, it seems really good. Bird up. What's up, High Overlord? Let's see. We are doing Zinnia Valley's voice. Let's see. All right, let's finish off these card draw engines, and then we can move on after this to removal and interaction. That's the fun part. You know what I'm saying? How are we gonna cuff people when they try to win? Let's see. I'm not seeing any. I'm gonna throw. You know what? I can see. This is Delny. Okay. Tell me how y'all feel about Delny Streetwise Lookout. My thought process with this is we have 2 combos that use Dockside, and not only is this tutorable with our recruiters, this also allows us to do the Dockside loops with either Shrieking Drake or Baron Master Wizard with lower mana. Not to mention, it also doubles our Archivist of Alchemy triggers. It doubles our Dual Castle Mage triggers if we're using it as a counterspell, or for value just copying someone's tutor. Doubles our Esper Sentinel. It just doubles all of these draw engines. And let's see, is this Delny work with Polywall Frog? It says creatures you control with power 2. No, that's not good. If the ability of creature control with power 2 or less triggers an additional time, so it can double our Polywalk Prodigy triggers as well. It gives us 3 triggers total when we offspring. Yes. 4 if we also have 2 or less power. Yeah, I'd include that easy. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think this one, I think just purely off the support class of it being able to help our Dockside combo, it just helps that a lot. I'm gonna throw Deli, and I agree. For card draw, is Drifter viable with trigger doublers and such? Is that the one where okay, where did I misspell, guys? There we go. Drifter. Yeah, there we go. No. There we go. Drifter. So what does this one do again? This one is flying when Drifter enters the battlefield. Draw 2 cards. You can invoke it for 2 colors in the blue, and you could offspring to keep a copy. I'm gonna say let's throw this one into the. Okay, so this is my thought process. It's not technically a card draw engine. It's an explosive amount of card draw, but if we think about the floor, it's evoke for 3 mana at sorcery speed to see 2 more cards, and the ceiling is we have our commander out. We pay 2 colors in the blue, and then we also pay 2 more colors to see 4 cards for 5 mana. My thought process is I would prefer to have more draw engines that trigger either when we do something just naturally in the game, for example, Lotho, Polywog, Frog, Espersindo, Fairy Mastermind, or when our opponents do things in the same position. So I'm going to throw this one into the sideboard because it's not a bad idea, especially because we can play around with the evoke shenanigans, you know what I'm saying? And we'll actually get to the evoke creatures in a second. But this one is like, I think we want to prioritize the engines over just one time big burst because there's a lot of mana to do that. Let's see. Spell Cleaver can't get intuition. Let's see. Delny plus Spell Seeker is intuition plus 3 counter spells for 5 mana. Even if you evoke it, if you offspring it, it's officially paying the same price. True. Very good point. That's extremely fair. Spell Seeker can't get intuition. That's true. You cannot do intuition. It would have to be Spell Seeker, and then we may have to add this scroll. It would have to be Spell Seeker into Scroll Rack. Not Scroll Rack. Merchant Scroll to go get the intuition. Thank you for the follow, brother. Thank you. What's up, Aku? Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay. I think let's see. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we actually to throw this out, I don't think we need to worry about using Spell Seeker to go get Merchant Scroll right now, because we do have the Spell Seeker line in here with the Ephemerate and the Final Fortune on this stuff. So I think we'll be fine. We're gonna have to find some more draw engines because we're just gonna be mulliganing deep for these draw engines, because the deck, I don't think most of our combos are 2+ more cards, whether it's Dual Casters, Twin Flame, or Baron Dockside, which we will still need a Recruiter, you know what I'm saying, or Fairy Displacement. Then I think what we need is, what we're going to end up having to do is, we're just going to have to find more draw engines. We'll talk more about that in a second. Let's see. Yes, cEDH. We are doing a cEDH version of Zinnia Valley's Voice. And we're, right now, the ability that we're really leaning on to both be a part of our win cons and for value will be creature spells you cast have offspring to. You may pay an additional 2 as you cast the creature spell. If you do, when creatures enter, create a 1/1 token. So we're just leveraging being able to do double ETBs on like Dockside, on our Dual Caster, our Esper Sentinel, and just making clones and getting mad value. Let's see. Let's see. Interaction. Yes, interaction. All right, so drop your favorite interaction below. I'm gonna start dropping in my favorite. I'm gonna start dropping. I love an offer. I love this spell. It is such a controversial interaction spell, and I hear so many opinions about it. I personally like it, but I do see it's offer you can't refuse is similar to like Wheels, where you have to recognize that it is a skill-intensive card. You cannot offer, you can't refuse a card off Kennen, or you gotta. All right. So here's the trick: how to use offer. When you're casting offer, you can't refuse. You either have to use it on the initial spell that is the problematic spell. For example, they cast Silence. You offer the Silence, okay? Or you wait to the very end of the counter war when the counters dry up then you offer. Because if you give the treasures too early, you can feed you can feed somebody being able to pay for a fluster storm. There's so many things. You don't want to really do it middle fight. The best time is at the very beginning. And if you can feel it over time, you'll be able to feel it at more towards the end of the counter war, hopefully at the last counter spell. Because if you like, what you can end up doing is you can feed them into another counter spell. So it's a very skill intensive card. It's more of a gut feeling that I get when I'm playing this spell. If I can't pop it off first, then I'm going to try to pop it off last, and I'll leave with all of my other counter spells first. Fluster, Silence, Grand Abolisher, 100% Scroll, MDFC. Scroll, MDFC, Silence. And it's a white though. Oh yeah, that's Flame Scroll Celebrant. Yeah, Flame Scroll Celebrant. Flame Scroll Celebrant. I'm gonna throw that into the sideboard. I want to get the definite includes. I definitely want Silence. I'm gonna throw Grand Abolisher in there. Technically, it's not interaction, but a Grand Abolisher is gonna be in the list. 100%. Fluster Storm's a definite yes. Storm. Fluster Storm, Silence, Grand Abolisher, Scroll, MDFC. It's like names are yeah. Orm's Chant. I'm not too much Orm's Chant. Orm Chant. All right, so I'll tell you about how I feel about Orm Chant, y'all. I think Orm Chant's really good, especially in those blueless lists. You know what I'm saying? Because having more silence effects are really good. If I had to choose, though, if I'm gonna be fully transparent, I would choose Flame Scroll Celebrant over the Orm's Chant, because Orm's Chant only stops target player, which also can be deflecting, which is a different conversation, but it only stops one person, where Flame Scroll Celebrant also stops all of your opponents, which you can say, well, it's 2 mana, it's double the mana, but I'm like, it's the same as a Grand Abolisher. Yes, it's more easy to counter because it's an instant spell, but I'd rather fight over something that's going to shut everybody down than have to perfectly pick the right person and it'd be like a whole like, oh, did I pick the right person, or if like it's more definite. That's kind of more of my my play style, but not to take away from Orm's Chant, because I'm seeing some very good decks like popping Orm's Chant and it's just really good. Let's see. Silence. Yes, we have Silence. Definitely, yes, we got Silence. Let's see. We talked about earlier how this deck needs bounce effects. So I'm gonna definitely do Chain of Vapor, because we're a Dockside deck too. Because we can sack lands, feed our breach, and do Chain of Vapor shenanigans. We don't have any board wipes in here. I'm gonna do Cyclonic Rift. We don't have any board wipes in. Snap. Let's see. Silence. Alchemist Retrieval. Ooh. I don't really run this one too often, but what did I misspell? Alchemist Retrieval. That's an interesting one. Let me reread this one. This one says, where is this one at? Pay a blue. Return target non-land permanent you control to its owner hand. Cleave cost. You may cast a spell, force cleave cost, so it's only a colorless in the blue. If you do, remove the words in the brackets, so then it returns as a return target non-land permanent. You know what? I would say yes to this spell, only if there wasn't recently. Oh, actually, no. I was thinking about, there's a new blue bounce spell that's like another frog themed spell from the set, but I don't think it's Into the Flood Maw. I don't think this can hit our permanents though, so we couldn't use it to bounce our Dockside to recast it. It says return target creature and opponent. No, because this can hit any non-land permanent if we gift it, but we can't use it for the Dockside. I'm gonna throw that in the sideboard though. For the Alchemist Refuge, Alchemist Retrieval. Because it can hit non-land permanent. It's not terrible. Because usually, I'm gonna be honest, usually what I would run over Alchemist Retrieval is Snap. And the thing about Snap is it's virtually free. If you can pop it off and even ramp you off, depending if you're tapping City Traders or Ancient Tomb. Let's see. How important is a 1 blue mana
to bounce any non-land. 2 blue mana, a colorless and a blue to bounce any non-land permanent. Snap only hits creatures. Let's see. With commander out, really loop. If you make one option, you can soft lock for 2 mana rocks. I'm gonna finish off this Alchemist. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try Alchemist Retrieval out. I usually don't run this spell. I'm gonna try it. I actually never run this spell, which is funny, but yeah, I'm gonna try Alchemist Retrieval out. I usually like the snap effect, but I'm gonna try Alchemist Retrieval over snap for now. Let's see, Trick Bind. I love Trick Bind, but those Trick Bind to the sideboard. I love Trick Bind, but my recommendation I tell people is non-red decks. And speaking of red interaction, Deflecting Swat. Because of Deflecting Swat, you can get away with not running Trick Bind or Stifle effects. So you can use this when you're not. You can use Deflecting Swat when you're under silence to stop channel effects. And I don't think we're too much of a control effect. Let's see, Snap. We talked about that one. Sink into Stupor, thank you. Yep, Sink into Stupor. Love that card. It's an MDFC that comes in untapped. If you all are not familiar, I'm going to be honest. I've been taking Manama out of my list for Sink into Stupor because I enjoy the act of interacting, and it's so seldom that you get the one ring out in Manamo. Especially if you're not in green, you don't have things like, what is the sack? Pay 1 green, sack a land, search your library for a land to put onto the battlefield. Crop rotation, thank you. Crop rotation allows you to do stuff like that. With that being said, I'd rather run Sink into Stupor because it allows you to be, speaking of force of will. I don't know how you did think about that one. Force of negation. Force of will, force of negation. But this is a pitch spell that it can pitch the things. It's also an untapped land for 3 life. We're not using our life total in this deck, so it's literally nothing. And it's actually an interactive spell. We can't bounce our own things, but we can either bounce a spell or a non-land permanent an opponent controls back to its owner's hand. So depending on what the spell is, it can actually completely shut down someone's win attempt or interactive shit. Seeing the Super is wild. I love it. For Dockside loops, is Aether Channeler an option? Is Aether Channeler an option? That's the wizard, right? We are saying, we did say this was Anala, Jeskai Anala. Oh yeah, so Aether Channeler says when it enters the battlefield, choose one, create a 1/1 white creature token, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, or draw a card. It would allow us to draw our deck, plus it can draw an ETB, plus it can run out permanent, and it can bounce a permanent to those. This is kind of interesting. I didn't actually think about this. How do y'all feel about Aether Channeler? Yeah, drop down. Tell me how y'all feel about Aether Channeler. Yeah, the offspring can bounce the original once you make it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's 3 mana, which is tough, but like in the worst universe, you play it, you draw a card. Like, I'm talking about those real stalled out games. You ain't got nothing going on. You play it for 3, and if you have like a shit ton of mana, you're just grogging out. You can, you literally can just go Aether Channeler, pay 2 more, ETB for the first one, draw a card. The clone comes in, bounce the original back to your hand. You can do it next turn. So it's a very mana-intensive card, but it's something. It's something. And then it's another outlet to draw our deck out. I actually like this. That was a really good idea. Let's switch printings, though. I like the full art, so I'm going to keep it a stack with y'all. That's not a bad idea. Good idea, y'all. Good idea. Oh, yes. Please power cycle your mic. We're getting some static from your mic. Thank you. Yeah, got you, bro. Let me know how that sounds, y'all. All right, let's see. Back to the let me know how that sounds, y'all. Also, if you have a Dockside for large enough, you can loop it and the Dockside. Perfect. All right, thank you, Lil Mitch, for the mic update, and that sounds good. Power of the Lord, I agree with that. Let's see. Trick Bind, Snap. We are talking about Seeing the Stupor. Seeing 2 is wild. Aether Channeler. That was a good idea. Good idea, y'all. It's a payoff for draws the deck with Commander out it forms a really weird loop. Yeah. And it is a combo. It is a loop with our commander with infinite mana. We have 2 ways. Not to mention, it really allows us to lean on the Imperial Recruiter and Recruiter of the Guard shenanigans. So that was a really good call. And this not bounce. Return another target non-land permanent to the owner's hand. This is another bounce effect because we talked about this. We have to have our commander out. So then early game, when we cast things like Esper Sentinel or whatever not, having these bounce effects that we can either at instant speed at the end of the turn, whatever not, we can bounce it and then recast an Esper to get double Espers or double Fairy Masterminds once we have it out. Granted, that's a lot of mana, but it depends on whatever scenario it is. So let's see. With the commander out, it forms a really weird loop. Do you have Hullbreaker Horde? If you make 1 offspring, you can make Infinite Soft Luck with 2 mana rocks. So we actually, Hullbreaker Horde is currently in the sideboard. The reason we're against it right now, we're not against it, but the reason we're actually not running Hullbreaker Horde right now is because what happens is you can make a soft lock for the table by making infinite offspring Hullbreaker Hordes, but if you don't have instant speed spells to bounce people's thing while they're after you pass turn, you basically are in that awkward position of, oh shit, I made a soft lock, but I need to make sure I get it back to my turn. So it turns into more than a 1-card combo with like minor setup with like having a Mana Crypt and Soul Ring and a 2 mana rock. It's light work, but that's the reason we're currently not running it. It's technically more than a 1-card combo. Not to mention, another reason we're actually not on it right now is because we're really trying to lean on our recruiters being super powerful cards to be able to tutor out full combo lines. Like I love that. Imperial Recruiter and Recruiter of the Guard can get Aether Channeler to be able to infinitely loop it and then draw our deck. And funny thing, Anala runs this, so we really are just got Anala. All right, let's keep going though. It is hilarious. It is hell yeah. Crop rotation, Singing the Sumer is a banger 100%. The offspring can bounce the original once you make infinite mana. Yes. Let's see. Also, if you have a Dockside for large number, you can loop it and the Dockside. Yes, very true. Beautiful. Oh, wait, you're right. Pile Valor said also, if you have a Dockside for large enough, you can loop it and the Dockside. How would that work? I think he's right though. If you have Dockside and Aether Channeler, so you need a base level of 5 mana because that's just enough to cast them. But you do. Say hypothetically Dockside on the board, so we spend 2 for Dockside, we make a shit ton of treasures. We'll think about the number in a second. Then we go from 2 to 5 to cast the Aether Channeler, and then plus 2 more to Offspring. The original enters the battlefield, will return the Dockside, and the other Aether. Oh, you're fucking right. That is a 2-card combo with our commander out. You're right, because the Dockside will need to have to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2 to cast Dockside, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to Aether Channel and copy. So the Dockside count would need to be 8. Yeah, the Dockside count would need to be 8. Let's see. Oh, true. Any of the combat completely commander agnostic? I ask because Flare, Denial, and Duplication are very good cards. Dude, you're right. Okay, so yes, we don't need our commander to pull off these combos. The combo lines I'm referring to are using the recruiters to go get things. None of these combos really need the commander. They're just more easily tutorable once you have the commander. I will say though, let's see, Flare, Duplication, and Flare of Denial. All right. So we got to have a discussion about these guys. We got to talk. All right. So I am very middle ground with these. I love that we can tap our commander out. And because our commander actually costs all these things, we can do it. I would probably want Flare of Denial over Flare of Duplication. Not because Duplication is bad, but it's just a hard counter spell. Stack our commander. We really it means that we can tap out confidently and just do our thing. Talk to me. Let's see. I think flares are not that good, honestly. That's fair. 4 mana for Dockside plus Offspring to make 10 treasures, 5 mana for Chandler. Oh yeah, yes, that works. Bounce Dockside and Chandler, then 4 mana for the Dockside. Loop again, leaves 1 mana. Oh, okay. So you just need a Dockside count of 5 then, because yes, good call. Let's see. We'll get to clones in 1 second. free counterspell, we have very few ways of playing parasitically. We have a significant oh my gosh, that word is a tongue twister. We have a significant density of free counter spells. We have very few ways of playing parasitically. Okay. Talk to me a little bit more about that, Lil Mitch. So I want to immediately put these in my sideboard. I think, you know what? This is what I think. No matter what happens, I think these need to go into the sideboard and they need to stay into something we think about, because I need to see the play patterns that are healthy for this deck. I think that being able to cast a commander and have it as a sack for our flares are good. But if you think about where most decks are using these flares, you think Dockside is because it's basically just another copy of Fierce Guardianship. Us having to get, like, us paying 3 mana to hold up a flare feels bad when I can just hold up that 3 mana to cast the counter spell if so needed. You know what I'm saying? I'd hate to have to sack our commander and then next time, say if we need to reset up for our combo, now we gotta pay 5 mana. So I don't think these are bad, but I need to see how the commander like flows in everything before I make that decision. So I'm gonna throw that into the sideboard. These are not bad cards, in my opinion. I just think I need to see how the deck flows before making that commitment. Let's see. We have Phyrexian Metamorph. We haven't added the clone effects in yet. What's it go? We haven't added the clone effects in yet, but I don't mind adding it right now. I'll be honest, 2 things that I'm going to tell y'all right now that are super important are going to be the clone effects. So actually, before we get to clone effect, let's finish off with the interaction package first. But don't forget Phyrexian Metamorph. That will be in the list. Let's see. Interaction. Let's see. Swords to Plowshare. How do we not do that one? Swords to Plowshare. Swords to Plowshare. Oh, we got to talk about the evoke creatures. I know I'm going to say no to Fury because it's sorcery speed. And I know I'm considering. I know Solitude it's just going to go to considering because I don't think our goal is to be a control deck, but one that I really, what's the white one called? There's Fury is red, blue is Solitude, white is Subtle. Oh, Solitude is the white one. So that's the one. All right, I got it mixed up. Solitude, yeah. I think Solitude would be a really fun inclusion because of the evoke ability. We can evoke this out and pay the 2 offspring basically to get 2 Solitudes at that point. And then we don't mind if the original goes to the graveyard because it feeds our breach, but not to mention now we have another body on the board as a blocker or attacker, however we want to do. Not to mention it'll be a 1/1 that will basically be feeding our Zinnia's ability to grow vertically. Yeah. Subtlety, I'm going to throw that in considering right now because yeah, I think this is great in controllers. I don't think our objective is to control the the table. I don't think that's the direction we want to move. But let's see. We have Silence. Swan Song. How did we miss Swan Song? Swan Song's a banger. Let's see. I like Red Elemental. Red Elemental Blast a banger. Ingot Chewer. What's that one? Ingot Chewer says, what is that? When it enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact, evoke is 1 red. I'm gonna throw this. I'll say this. I want to leave this to the sideboard. The reason I say it's the same category for 2 reasons. It's sorcery speed removal, which is unfortunate. If it had flash, I would think about it again because 1 red flash, pop an artifact or pay 3 to pop 2 artifacts is really strong in my opinion. But because it's sorcery speed, it's kind of like a little poopy. Not to mention, I think because we're in blue, we have enough bounce effects to stop people, temporarily stop people to then be able to keep moving forward how we want to later on. So I think this one is just, it's fair. It's not a bad one, but I think we're going to sideboard that one for now. Let's see. Ingot Chewer. Arcane Denial. I'm not a huge fan of Arcane Denial personally, unless I'm playing Heliod, the white blue Heliod, then Arcane Denial all day. Okay, then I was risking cEDH. I agree. It's you can end up giving people cards that have no business getting. What's it called? You can end up giving them cards when they have no business giving them. Let's see. Delay is a lot safer. That's fair. Especially delaying a Dockside is sexy as fuck. I love that. Into the Flood Maw is 1 CMC bounce spell that can kill an opponent during a Thoracle combo. How does it kill an opponent? Oh yeah, so we talked about Into the Flood Maw, but how do we kill an opponent during a Thoracle combo with the bounce? Dawn Fluke. Yeah. It gives a fish, not a draw. Let's see. Dawn Fluke. What is Dawn Fluke? I've never heard of this card before. I think y'all are just putting me on. Let's see. Oh, another evoke one. Ooh. When it comes into play, prevent the next 3 damage that be dealt to target creature or player this turn. You had me at Flash. You lost me at the ability. This is not. This one's it's a little lower on the ability. First of all, you have to pay the 4 mana. It doesn't have to have it. Well, it does have the cheat evoke for 1. I don't know how much we want to prevent damage, but I've actually never seen this card before. I want to keep this one in the back of my head. I'm gonna keep this one in the sideboard. That's not a terrible one. Let's see. Kind of a troll. I was hoping to get you excited. I got you. No, that was like I saw Flash. I was like, hold up, you got me. We'll keep it moving though. Do we already? I brought up Red Elemental Blast. I added that one. I want to sideboard Pyroblast. I always it depends on like the meta or how we want to interact on the stack. Oh, how the heck did y'all not tell me Pact the Negation? I gotta tell me about this stuff. When we get to talk about 8 cards, we'll get there in a second. We'll get there. It's after we get through Protection, but actually I think Protection we pretty much already did because we have Grand Abolisher, Ranger. Grand Abolisher, Ranger, Silence, and Teferi. We already got Protection down. Yeah, we'll talk about that right after Removal Interaction. Pact though, did I add Pact? Yes. Mind Break Trap. I love Mind Break Trap. Mental, y'all are Mental Misstep. We gotta get Mental Misstep in here. Mental Misstep. Let's see. Snapcaster. Snapcaster Mage. Let's see. When it enters the battlefield, target instant sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to the mana cost. Let me think. Snappy is very spicy. Yeah, I agree. So let's talk floor. On the floor, this does nothing if we don't have an instant sorcerer in our graveyard. So this has to be a mid-range card. The ceiling is our commander's out. We have the mana open to pay for blue colors to flashback, to give 2 instants or like 2 counter spells, for example, flashback. That's a high ceiling. My only thing is, I think the floor is low enough to put it in the sideboard and to think about it. I think if we turn this into more of a control mid-range deck, I definitely want to put this in the 99. I think I think right now we're kind of like split right there in the mid-range, and if we add this in, we're moving more towards the control side. And I think because we were intentionally be wanting to put an even higher density of NC speed, removal spells, and interactive spells to be able to like warrant at instant speed putting it back. It can bring back. See. Oh, we talked about Ledger Shredder. That one is not bad. It's personal. I think if you built the list and you like Ledger Shredder, I prefer card draw over card selection. That's why we actually decided we're gonna try Polywog Prodigy out. That card selection is tough, man. Dragon Rage Channeler. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna sideboard Dragon Rage, but I am gonna mainboard Ragavan. Sideboard Dragon Rage Channeler. I definitely want to mainboard Ragavan because it can. That's a turn that can push out a turn 2 commander that also can just be ramp in general because our win lines take a lot of mana. So I like the early ramp from Ragavan. Dragon Rage Channeler. I'm thinking sideboard for that for now. The floor is 2 Ragavans for 2 DRCs for 3 mana. It's still in that card selection place. It does fill our graveyard up very well, but it requires us to cast a bunch of non-creature spells. Let's hold off on it just for now because as an engine, it still requires us to cast stuff and only triggers when we cast non-creature spells. And I think that's not bad. Let's just see how the deck plays first. Ishai? I'm gonna pass on Ishai. It's a good bird though. It's a good bird. Let's see. We gotta finish up the interaction package. How do y'all feel about mana drain? I think our being able to use that colors on a combo turn, it just seems really good. I'm not gonna cap. Because we can hold up the mana drain, end up using the mana drain to feed off-screen triggers when we're trying to combo off, or just in general for value. That seems really good. Yeah, okay, mana drain, good. Extraction Specialist. Oh, the Dockside combo. I'm going to throw that one into the sideboard. It is not easily tutorable with our recruiters, but not a bad card. Extraction Specialist. Throw that one. If you all are not familiar, Extraction Specialist says, oh no, this is not what I'm thinking about. This is a different card. This says colors, white, lifelink 3/2. When Extraction Specialist enters the battlefield, return target creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. This creature can attack or block as long as that Extraction Specialist. I think hold off on this one for now. I'm still gonna leave it in the sideboard. My thought process is we run Breach, and I don't think what would we be bringing back? Value 2 or less. We can bring an Archivist back. Dockside is a substantial thing. Fairy Mastermind, Esper, Grand Abolisher is a solid thing. Grand Abolisher is definitely like a whole thing. Polywog, Ragavan, and Shrieking Drake. I think because my usual play patterns, I'd rather just use Breach to get it back, even if it's a value Breach to combo into something else. But I'm gonna think about it because I just never played with this card before, so I need to fill this one out for. I'm gonna think about this one a little bit more. Did we already talk about Flusterstorm? I think we added that one earlier on. We did. We have Final Fortune, Fierce Guardianship, guys. We added Deflecting Shot, but didn't add Fierce. Let's see. Fierce Guardianship, that's a banger. And I think we have Chain of Vapor already, Brain Freeze. We got the Born. I think we're not running the other extra turn spell because we haven't even got to lands yet. We'll get to that in a second. Angel's Grace. So this is my rule for Angel's Grace, and I find a lot of people say this. Angel's Grace is you only run it if it's part of a win con. Do not run it just to stop Thassa's wins. There's so many other ways to stop Thassa's. I think if we end up making Fairy Mastermind as part of a win con, that's cool. I think the inclusion of Aether Flush Channeler makes it a little obsolete. Not as a draw engine. It's great as a draw engine, but as a finisher to like Angel's Grace, draw everybody out, I'm looking like, it's okay. Volatile Storm Drake. That's not a bad idea. Because you can double volatile. The floor is just switch creatures with somebody. The ceiling is you switch 2 creatures with somebody. That's kind of cool. I should fuck it. Let's go volatile Storm Drake. Yeah. Let me know how y'all feel about this one. The floor is we don't, this is not an energy deck, so the energy is pointless, but the floor is, we take, and we can either, and the cool thing about this is you can either remove it, just so you can remove 2 Stax pieces or remove whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? The ceiling, because you don't have to gain control of it, but the ceiling is you can take up to an 8 mana creature, because you'll get 2 energy triggers. The first one will go off. You don't have to spend the energy, but the second one, that's kind of hot. Let's see. We'll get to it in a second. You get an 8-cost creature with it. With Offspring, you get twice as many energy to dump it into it. Yeah, exactly. Amped Raptor. We're gonna have to move over to Stax and say, Little Mitch ain't gonna let us finish this deck tag without adding Stax pieces. What does this Amped Raptor do? In this battlefield, you get 2 energy. Yeah. Oh, I've seen this card. Yeah. This is when Amped Raptor enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. Then, if you cast it from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card by paying the amount of energy equal to the mana value rather than paying the mana cost. I think we're fine with this one. I'm gonna put this on the side for it. You have potential to cheat things out. I'm fine. I think we're fine. Let's see. You can have a 3-drop and a 5-drop. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Yeah, you can always choose to sack. True. LOL. Do you get a secondary trigger on the Offspring? Talk to me, Little Mitch. What do you mean by that one? By the secondary trigger on the Offspring. You're talking about an additional ETB. Yes, you'll get 2 ETBs. Because this is an ETB, because it says when Volatile Stormdrake enters the battlefield. Yes, this is an ETB. What will end up happening is you'll get a secondary trigger you'll get the first trigger, it goes off, you'll get the 4 energy, and whether you want to keep the creature or not, you can either sack it or keep it. And the second creature will enter in the copy off the Offspring, and then you can choose to either take a larger creature or just keep on pushing on. Get off the white? No. Is that? I don't think so. But is that the casting things out the white? Is this the casting things that flash speed? No. I think we got born. Get off the white. What is this one? No. This is, I want to build this deck commander eventually as the commander. I just haven't got to it. Flash speed is so tough, but it's so much fun. I'm gonna leave this and consider it. Yeah, I don't think we have. We're currently using Born Upon a Win to enable the flash speed stuff. Ellis Norn, are you talking about the new one or the old one? Again, I'll eat double. Oh, the double ETB. So we're actually running Delney Streetwise Lookout as our double ETB effect because all of our creatures are so low to the ground with their power and their toughness. Outside of this Volatile Stormdrake, everything, and of course Solitude, everything is pretty much, and of course Ranger Captain, but everything is pretty much okay. We got to move to Stax pieces, but before we do, clones. We got to knock clones out real quick. Phyrexian Metamorph, because like we need the clones as a way to, imagine your clones are basically a bounce spell, because if you already have the creature on the board, on your board that you want to copy, you can cast a clone, pay the Offspring cost, and basically do the same effect. So we need the Phyrexian Metamorph, and we are running out of space. What do we got? 35 slots left. Whoa, we're getting close, guys, because we still got to get fast mana. Okay, Phyrexian Metamorph. Was it Flesh Duplicate? Since we're looking to bounce our stuff, I think we're gonna go for the new Mockingbird over Phantasmal Image. Where's the Phantasmal? We're gonna do the new Mockingbird over Phantasmal Image because we can bounce this and recast it. Where is we have Flesh Duplicates? Yeah. Do the full art version. Mockingbird is cracked with Offspring. Oh, big facts. We had a whole discussion. Fun fact: if you're not aware, like with the Offspring ability, because Offspring is an additional cost, you can basically say if you want to clone something that's 4 mana. you can pay blue and make X equals 1 and then pay the offspring cost. And because it's an additional cost, when both clones come down, you can choose 4 or down with Mockingbird. And also my favorite thing, y'all, we can tutor a clone with Ranger Captain. That's fucking busted. I don't think another clone, the sideboard this for now. Cursed Mirror, I'm just gonna sideboard this. I don't think this needs to be in the main board because we have so many good blue. Grand Arbiter, Sigma Steam? What? You talking about the 4th? Let's see. Grand Arbiter. I'll say this. What I will say about Grand Arbiter the 4th is it makes our spells cost less, makes our opponents cost more. That's it. Okay, this is where it gets very specific based for you specifically as a pilot. I'm gonna be fully transparent. I think that the amount of mana you needed to pull off a double Grand Arbiter and really like cuck people is too much, in my opinion, because by the time you pay 4 plus 2 plus 3 with having the commander out, because this is something like to do that synergy, you would have to go commander for 3, and you can spread it across 2 turns, but say it costs 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 2 is 9. It does create a crazy lockout. I would just rather have a counter spell, to be fully transparent. I don't think it's bad. I just think that's a lot of mana. I think it's similar to the Marnius. It's Marnius Calgar is one of the commanders I run. It is one of the conundrums that come up that I tell people. I'm like, the reason I build Marnius as a control deck that just draws cards in general over being a tokens deck is because Marnius Calgar costs so much. So to do a token draw engine would be 5 for Marnius, like Esper plus 2, and then you would need to pay the mana for the token generator, and then you would have to actually make the tokens after that, which is anywhere from 7 to 8 plus mana to start drawing cards. When you can just play the One Ring, you can play like other draw engines that just get you there. You know what I'm saying? This is a similar situation where in order to get the best ceiling, which is 3 plus 4 plus 2, that is 9 mana, and I wonder if it's better just to play cards that get us closer to a win over trying to slow the table down. Like, can we add more mana advantage? So I don't think this is bad, but this is what I'm gonna have to think about a little more. It's definitely something to think about. Let's see. Oh, thank you. All that conversation. Legendary rule doesn't work. Thank you. Yeah. I don't think it's too casual. Yeah, you're right. It's legendary rule. I had all that talking. Legendary rule. Not for the offspring, just for the discount. But yeah, true. I think the 3 CMC Urza is better because you're trying to make your tutor chain cheaper. What's the 3 CMC Urza? Drop that down below. Drop that down below, bro. 3 CMC Urza. What is that one? Drop that. I know about the 4 CMC Urza, that the commander. I'm not familiar with the 3 CMC. Let's see. Clones. I think those are fine. I think we got 4 or 3 clones. We got Mockingbird, Phyrexian Metamorph, and Flesh Duplicate. I think 3 clones is fine. Oh, Paranoid Partisan. After this, could you look at my deck? I have been working on it for a while and would like a review. I can't right now, Aku TV, but if you check the link out in the bio, go join the ThunderConductor community and drop your list in the brewing corners. We can either have the whole community will check it out, but I'll be able to better look at it at a later date. I can't at this exact second. But let's see. We got to finish. We're almost done. We're at 67 cards, and we're going to have at least, I like 27, 28 11s. So we have right now, we say 30 around that. We have 5 slots, and we need to do fast mana. We got to finish our fast mana package. So we're not running fast mana, guys. Okay, hold on. All right. We got to add the fast mana in. Oh, we skipped Stax. Are there any other Stax pieces that we want to run? I will give you all a pre-warning. Simeon. Fuck, you're right. Simeon Spirit Guide. I will give you all a pre-warning. I've been playing of the methodology of a Stax piece needs to do more than stop the table. It has to be stacks the table and win us the game, or stacks the table and get us advantage. For example, Trouble in Pairs is an example. It stacks the board and draws cards. Blind Obedience is another great example. It stacks the board and it's an infinite cast trigger outlet. So drop me some stacks, peoples. Dranith sideboard for now. Sideboard. We got 6 months ago, I would never play a whitelist without Dranith Magistrate. I've been killing it without Dranith lately. Good call on Simian Spear. I completely forgot that. Dauntless. Do we want to double down on the artifact enters taps ability? Double Dauntless is good though. The floor is play Dauntless, slows the table down. Ceiling is double Dauntless, and we can crack at 2 different levels. Let's see. Vexing Bobble. I'm gonna sideboard Vexing Bobble only because it's really good if you can pop it down early. If you all are not familiar, Vexing Bobble says, Vexing Bobble says whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. You can crack this just to draw a card. It's really good. Because we can't win through it though, I think I like to put this in decks where I can win through it. You know what I'm saying? We can win through it if we do our Dockside lines or our dual cast mage. I'm thinking about the Underworld Breach lines. It's a silence effect. It's a Stax piece. Okay. This is what I'll say. I'm gonna put it in the sideboard. This is why I'm gonna hold off on it. We have 4 silence effects. We're solid on silence. I would personally want to run where's this earlier mentioned? Revel in Silence before I run Vexing Bobble. The thing I will say about this though is it's not bad. I want cards that can both win us the game plus I want cards that can both win us the game plus stacks out. That's my criteria for stacks pieces in my Jeskai list specifically. Storm Drake, we got that. Curse Totem, that's technically stop. I want to hold off on that one just a little bit. It does stop our Baron. We are running the Shrieking Drake though, and it stops our Fairy Mastermind. It's a thinker. Curse Totem's a thinker. Only because it stops our Baron, I would need Baron can only bounce creatures. So I'm gonna hold off on it for just a little bit, but that's not a terrible idea. We have it in our sideboard, I think. We have Baron in the sideboard. Yeah, we have Curse Totem in the sideboard. So we're still thinking on that one. I know we're not on lands yet, but I'm gonna throw it. We skipped over this for removal. Witch Enchanter is a MDFC land that we can just pay 3 colors and a white to destroy target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls, or we can do the Offspring to hit 2 things. But I think the floor of just being an untapped land on the back is really good. But let's see, Vaso Storm Drink. Do we want you can always crack it. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like the we can always crack it is the mindset of at that point I'm only playing it to stop my opponents, and I want to first see the things that I'm weak to that I need to stop my opponents with. I've learned through my play experience that Jeskai is weak to Dockside and other things along that line. That's why Blind Obedience I find is really, really good. You know what I'm saying? Because it stops the Magdas and the Sisseis. On the flip side, and that's also why I'm still thinking about Dauntless Dismantler. Do we throw that on the sideboard yet? Did I throw that on the sideboard? No. Where's that at? I got those Dauntless in the sideboard. I don't know if we need double, but that's why I'm thinking about Dauntless Dismantler so much, because that effect of having 2 Dauntless Dismantlers are really saying hey, y'all are not going to storm off and you can sack treasures if you were magic, but you're not gonna be able to use the mana from them immediately. So that's why I want to think a little longer on Dauntless Dismantler. Sarah Ascendant, great for life gain. I'm gonna throw that in the sideboard. Sarah Ascendant. Let's see, we'll keep it pushing. Let's see. You can always crack it. Yeah, let's see. Skull Clamp, crack the Offspring, draw 2. Not a terrible idea. Throw it in the sideboard. Skull. It's not a terrible idea. Throw that in the sideboard. Let's see. Make 2 6/6s for 3 mana. Yes, I see that. if we were looking to stack the board out more, having 6/6s to pressure life totals is good. I think, at least for my playstyle, I look more to combo. Sarah Sind is not a bad idea. Honestly, big ups on Sarah's. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I'm just gonna hold off on that just really because all it does is we're not using our life totals, so it gives us life gain, and it also heavily pressures our opponent's life totals as long as we have our commander out, which is not bad, but it's a thing where it's not getting us closer to a win other than pressuring life totals. And we have so many powerful combos that the slots are starting to get tighter and tighter. But once again, it's not a bad idea, actually. It's not a bad idea. Let's see. End step trigger, though. Also, the we talked about that one a little bit earlier. Chromox. Yes, thank you. We have to finish these mana rocks. Thank you, Lilith. We have to finish the fast meta. Chromox. Oh, no, that's why we stopped. We have to. Is there any other Stax pieces that you all have that are both in that blind obedience camp of stops our opponents and wins the game? We're going to start. What's it called? We're going to start on our fast mana, but go ahead and drop me some if there's any other blind obedience ish. What's it on my Stax pieces? On many Stax pieces. Ava Mind Sensor. That's not a terrible one. Throw that one to the sideboard. It's one Ava Mind Sensor. Doesn't help us get closer to a win, but it's such a good stack. I mean, such a good Stax piece. It really, really is. I like that one. Chromox. We already have LED, right? Let's see. Lotus Petal, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Soul Ring, Mox Diamond. How did we forget that one? Let's see. Mox Opal. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm special. I like I've recently let's go to the bottom of the list. I've recently actually stopped running Felwar Stone in my list, and I've been recently adding all 3 talismans to my list, and I need to also add Arcane Signet. I stopped adding. There we go. I stopped adding Felwar Stone because there's some times where turn 1 plays are just not possible with Felwar Stone when you're going on the play, and it's such a minute, small thing, but it's just something I noticed. Talisman for making sure the creature's tutors. Berkey for making the creature tutor chain easier. Oh, that's a thinker. Berkey. Let me look at this card again. So what Berkey says, if you all are not familiar, Berkey, God of Storytelling, says whenever you cast a spell, add red. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Creatures you control can be, yeah, we're not looking at that ability. And on the back side, you can pay for a red to cast Herald's Horn of Bounty, discard a card, exile top 2 cards to your library, and you may play those cards this turn. Okay, so I'm going to be fully transparent with you all. I've actually never, in none of my cEDH lists, I don't run Bergen in any of them because usually I just don't end up needing it and it just doesn't make the cut. It ends up being like a 101st or 102nd card. In this list with so much mana needed to combo off, it does help just the combo line smooth out. It's not tourable by our Imperial or Recruiter of the card, but if we just naturally draw it, we can play it as a 3 booty, which is big enough. And even if our opponent kills it, it more enables us to win better. It's not like we need it to win the game. Yeah. I'm going to leave it in there, but I'm still feeling 101st, 102nd card energy off of it. But it's not, I'm going to leave it in the main board for now. It's not a bad idea. Really not a bad idea. Is there any other fast mana, though? We have... mana, we got the talismans, Soul Ring, Mox Opal, Mox Diamond. How do y'all feel about Mox Amber in this list? I don't like Rite of Flame because of red, white, blue. Yeah, I do. Okay, so I'll say this: Rite of Flame is. I'm gonna throw it in the sideboard. I usually run it in my red list. Because it's just a really good ritual, super cheap, allows you to do explosive plays, The reason I'm going to hold off on Rite of Flame is because it doesn't do double duty. You know what I'm saying? My Sotulus, check that out, link in the bio. My Sotulus actually uses Rite of Flame, part of a Displacer Kitten, where you can go Pinnacle Monk, Displacer Kitten, Lightning Bolt, or any other bolt effect that costs 1 mana, and then Rite of Flame. It can either be Rite of Flame or Jessica's Will, depending on the cards in your opponent's hands. And so what ends up happening is you can use that to loop it, and your Pinnacle Monk is your Eternal Witness, and you just infinitely cast Lightning Bolt to bolt the table. That's like an excuse to run Lightning Bolt or whatever not. The thing is, though, because I don't think this list is really the best for Pinnacle Monk, even though I love Pinnacle Monk, I don't think this is really the list for it. I think what's going to end up happening is, and I can throw that into sideboard for now, I think Rite of Flame is going to be a sideboard card for now, because I really like the idea for Bergie. That's not a bad idea. Let's see, Rite of Flame, that was a solid idea. Let's see, and then we have sideboard is going to be Pinnacle Monk. All right. If you were on Kraken, yes, Amber, but 3 CMC and 3 color, nope. I agree. Let's see. Member feels. Amber feels weird. It taps for 3 colors when your commander is Pip. Is 3x Pips as well. Yeah. That, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, when we look at our legendary creature and planeswalker, I'm not gonna count Teferi because it combos with Teferi, but you're never gonna just value cast Teferi. At least I'm not going to. As of right now, the only creatures that would turn our Amber on would be Bergie and Ragavan, and that's it. And our commander, of course. And so Amber would be on offline most games. Yeah, I agree. Let's hold off on the Amber. I think Bergie, if I like Bergie and Amber in that 101, 102 slot, and Bergie's a little bit higher than Amber. Oh, Bergie's a little bit higher than Amber in this situation. I agree. Good call. Good call. Let's see. I think we have all our rocks. I think we do. And we have 20. No, I'm lying. 23 slots left. We got to do our lands, guys. I think if we've missed any cards as of yet, please drop them down below. I'm going to go speed blitz on these lands because this is the plug and chug thing. Ancient Tomb. We got I like all the fetches. Arid Mesa, especially in the 3 colors. They're basically 5 color lands. Bloodstained Mire. We got City of Cheeks all day. Gotta do the City of Cheeks. Fun thing, I think this may be a City of Traders list because of all the Offspring triggers. At the cEDH lands package and cut. I prefer to go manually in. That cEDH land package be too many cards. I used to do that. I hated going back and undoing it. I usually go to one of my other lists and just I usually go triple dot and go add to another deck, and I like speed blitz it like that. But since we're doing this together, we'll rock it like this. I think this may be a City of Traders list because of all this can help pay for the Offspring. Even though it could possibly go away, I think late game City of Traders be busted. You know what I'm saying? And also we have a lot of colorless pips in our creature meta base from our Spellseeker, our Recruiters, even Bergie. I think Bergie may be a mainstay, but I think this may be a City of Traders list. Let's see. Command Tower. Flooded Strand. Okay. Let's play a game. How many cards can TTC misspell? Gypstone Caverns. Hollow Fountain. Hollow Fountain. Mana Confluence. Let's see. Marsh Flats. Let's see. Misty Rainforest. Let's see. Odawara. Oh my god, fuck yes. Plateau. Yeah. Plateau, Polluted, Delta, Sacred, Foundry, Scalding Tarn, Steam Vents, Tarnished, Citadel. Fun fact, I actually love Tarnished Citadel in lists that I'm not using my life total, i.e. Jeskai list. It sometimes can be tough because like, oh, late game, I'm saying I'm at 5 life and I'm trying to combo off. I can't tap. All right, it's fine. By that late game point, you'll have things, other untapped sources. You'll be fine. You just tap it for colors. But I really actually enjoy Tarnished Citadel over Exotic Orchard and Forbidden Orchard, which either can tap for not the colors you need or give your opponents a bird or was a spirit. Right now, everyone's using the spirit. It's just, I'm not a huge fan of Forbidden Orchard. I'm just going to keep it a stack with you. Volcanic, Island, and then Wind, Swept, Heath, and then a Wooded Foot. All right, let's see. How many lands are we at? 25. All right, we need 2 more. And we're actually at 100 cards, so we're going to have to cut 2 cards, but 25 is way too short lands for me. Okay, so what I'm thinking for our last slot of lands can be some personal choices. We can actually add in they're like the pain lands. So like, what is it? Sunbaked Canyon. They're pain lands that also give us card draw if we need it in a pinch. And what's the other one called? I have the card over here. And Fiery Islet. Let's see. Do we have the bond lands? So I don't have the bond lands in right now, but those are not bad ideas. What name off the 3 bond lands. I throw those on the sideboard because if this ends up hurting our life total too much, then I'm gonna add the bond lands in over the pain lands. You know what the 3 are for our colors? Training Center. That's it. Training Center. That's one. What's the other 2? It's Training Center. Fuck. Spire Vista. Thank you. No, that's not it. Yeah. When they come to mind, drop them down below. Let's see. We gotta cut 2 cards, so y'all. Let's see. I think we gotta cut 2 cards, y'all. We're in a pickle right now. We're in a pickle. We are in a pickle. I'm not cutting lands, but let's see. Enchantment. All right, so let's just look at everything. We're at 102 cards. We have to cut 2 cards. So right now we have our draw engines, Smothering Tide to help fuel these heavy. Sea of Clouds, Spectre. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sea of Clouds and Spectator Seating. Come on. There we go. Thank you, bro. Let's go through each section and see what we can cut. And we actually probably need to start right at the top. So start off from the top with Planeswalkers. We're not getting into very combo pieces. Silence effect is really good. Aether Channeler, I do not think this is worth cutting. I think its ability to balance itself, like if we're, for example, if we do have a Smothering Tide and we're just sitting on a shit ton of minute and we just want to start drawing cards, it can literally just draw cards itself and draw us into the combo. Not to mention that it also combos with Dockside. We can make infinite mana, follow it up with doing infinite Aether Channelers to draw. I think this 2-card combo right there is fucking crazy. So fucking cool. Archivist of Ogma, I really enjoy this one. I've been a little more on the weaker side of this one lately because it's really powerful when you get it out turn 1. It's a little less powerful when you get out turn 2, and once you get it out, people are prone to play around it, especially the more skilled players. They just know not to play their fetches earlier, or they'll wait to crack their fetches until it benefits them, or like when Archivist dies to a Bowmaster or something. So
Baron is a no. Berkey's, I really want to see how Brady runs in this list. I'm not going to cap. I really think this has potential. I forgot who brought it up, but whoever brought it up, I really think you may be onto something. Berkey may be worth it because our combo lines take so much mana. And I think in the worst universe, if we do have a shit ton of cards, we can also just turn this in the backside and start discarding cards to just see more and more. You know what I'm saying? I really think Berkey may be onto something. Delny, it enables our Dockside lines when we're low on mana. Also doubles a lot of our stuff. Double Displacer, double ETBs. It's crazy. What's your color breakdown? You're running two monocolor FCs. Run the 2 bondlands. You haven't run the 2 bondlands on the teller. You're heavy on, and don't run the 3rd. I'm partially positive that we're super low, but let's actually check our color breakdown. We're on 44 to 42, ooh, 41 to 22, and 41 to 21. So we're kind of cutting it close on the blue. Let's see. With that being said, we're cutting it close on the blue. I actually will take out this Sunday Canyon thing. I'm gonna add in what is this? What is this? We need more blue. Let's see. You know what? I never do this. I'm either going to add in at this point, okay, there's 2 options. There's either we can add the Battle Bond lands or we can add in Manamo to help fit the blue thing, and Manamo does help, but it's a little, I've already talked about Manamo's a little because it really only does its thing with the 1 ring, and it's not the best thing. Or we can run a basic island. I think we're just slow enough where we don't want to get cucked on that. But I'm gonna throw an island to the sideboard. I like living on the edge. I like let's see. Island. And I'm gonna throw Phenomena to the sitter. I'm never gonna end up adding it to it. But if I consider it, maybe if I add the words right. I kind of like Cephalid Coliseum ? Ooh, it's not a terrible idea. That's actually not a bad idea. I kind of like your original idea, I'm not gonna lie, of running 1 battle bond land. Like our blue and red, our red and white is pretty much split. It's just a little bit more on the white one. We can run the Sea of Clouds battle bond land and then see how it just works out. Yeah, like the blue white one, because we're just, it's so small, but we're technically just on a little bit more white. Cephalid, I think Cephalid has more synergy than Manamo. Yeah. Also, we really do like as well how, of course, there's the Thassa's thing, but it also lets you draw 3 cards. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do Cephalid. I don't have any decks that run Cephalid right now. So if we find that we need more red or white, then we'll take it out. But yeah, I'm not against this one. Let's just do Coliseum. Cephalid. How do y'all spell Cephalid? Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to type in Cephalid. What am I spelling wrong? Let's not talk about that right now. Cephalid Coliseum. We're gonna add Cephalid Coliseum to it, and I'm not gonna lie, this new Modern Horizons 3 printing, I don't know why, I just like it. I think it's like this little printing a little bit in the back. It's just really cool. It just looks modern, fresh. Do they have any full art versions though? Do they? Huh, I don't know. No, they don't. This used to be my favorite, but this one, I don't know why. It just sits well with my soul. Let's see how that did our color breakdown. And we're actually about to take 2 cards out, so it may help it. 48 on 42. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Back to the creatures. Okay. Berkey may be on the chopping block, but I really think there's potential with that one. Delny, I really like this to be able to like cross the bridge for the Dockside or double Displacer or whatever the fuck else we want. Also double Espers. It's just really like, it feels like a glue to what our deck wants to do. So, and that rhymed. Ooh, okay. Displacer, no. Dockside, Dopecaster, nope. Esper, Fairy Mesmerine, Flesh Duplicate, nope. Flesh? No. Clones are going to be important. Grand Abolisher, nope. Imperial, Mockingbird, Phyrex Metamorph, Polywog Prodigy. All right, y'all. I want to try this card out, but
there's a universe where I feel like this may be bad. I think it's a new card. Let's keep it in because we want to try it out. Same thing. Ragavan, I think it's good early game ramp. Rangers, keep it. It's a tutor. Nope. How do we feel about Solitude, y'all? Do we feel like we need Solitude? Like, I feel like having to pitch a white spell to it. Like, we already run Swords to Plowshare. We really don't need Solitude. It's more like my only push over Solitude is like you get the synergy of like being able to push it out for free. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Like, I think it's really cool. That was really one of the cards I really wanted to run, but we're at 102. I don't think we need it. Let's cut it. Spellseekers, no. Witch Enchanter, we're gonna keep that one for now. Let's see. It's the color breakdown. I say color break. Oh yeah, I feel you. The thing is that we're not running enough white spell. If you look at our color breakdown, we're not running enough white spells to consistently have the white spell to pitch. I love that we have so many blue cards though. I love that because that means our Force of Will and the Force of Negation are gonna be on fucking line. I love that. But let's finish this out. Volatile Storm Drake, I really think the ceiling for this is really great. The floor is great as well. I think this list is gonna be hard, mid-range, adaptive. So play control and lay down the 1 or 2 Stax pieces we have just to slow things down until we're looking at control, and volatile being able to take something and sack it or just take it all together. Especially because we need more draw engines, so that's great. Witch Enchanter is a land, gamble, Jessica's Will, multiplication, twin flame. I'm willing to have another conversation on this possibly being Heat Shimmer, but we'll have that conversation when I try to add things. I do like having the double ability to do that. Will of Fortune, nope. Let's see, Born. I think we're slow enough. We're Born. Not to say we're a slow list, but we're talking turn 3 or 4 when turbo lists are doing turn 2 and 3. If we're made to win on turn 3 to 4, well, really more like 3 to 5, and turbo lists are more made to win on turn 2 to 4, that means we're slower. I think Born is realistic. We can do a Born win if we want to. We can intuition Born, we can do some shenanigans. Alchemist Retrieval. How many bounce effects do we have right now? We have Chain of Vapor, and I'm really more thinking self bounce effects. I think we can let 3 because all right, so we have Aetherflux Channeler is a bounce effect. I know we can count that, but that's more of a flicker effect. But we have Aetherflux Channeler. We have the Shrieking Drake. We have Alchemist Refuge, Chain of Vapor. I'm not going to count the Cyclonic Rift because I'm more thinking about bouncing my own things right now. And then we have just 4 technically. I want to keep the Alchemist in, but let me know what y'all think. I want to keep the Alchemist in for now. Can you explain the Ephemerate combo? Yes. How the Ephemerate combo works is we move this to the library. How the Ephemerate combo works is you go Spellseeker, starting just off Spellseeker, and you need a couple cards in the graveyard, but basically it just goes cast Spellseeker, ETB, go get Ephemerate. Ephemerate does this thing. You cast Ephemerate, it'll go to the rebound zone because of that ability. You cast it from your hand, and then you'll go get Final Fortune. Final Fortune goes off, you'll cast Final Fortune. Okay? Then you'll go to your next turn, Final Fortune will go to the graveyard. You will go to your next turn. In the beginning of the next upkeep of your Final Fortune turn, you'll pop off Ephemerate from the rebound zone for free, and then you'll target your Spellseeker again. You'll go get Enlightened Tutor. Enlightened Tutor, you'll cast Enlightened Tutor in the upkeep, go get Underworld Breach. Yeah, exactly. So everything is built. You see, we don't need the command or anything. Literally, all we need is mana. And now at this point, you'll go get Enlightened Tutor, go get Underworld Breach, go get Underworld Breach to recast the Enlightened Tutor. No, go get Underworld Breach to recast the Ephemerate to go get Brain Freeze, then recast the Enlightened Tutor to put LED on top of your library. Cast the Brain Freeze, milling LED into your graveyard, and a shit ton more cards, and you just win the game. And actually, I'm not gonna lie, this is actually a funny thing too. In my Satya list, I run the same combo in there.
You know what the most busted thing in the world is? Ephemerate and fucking clone creatures. I literally had a game where I went. It was fucking stupid. I fucking went. Dude, there was a Bowmasters on board, and then there was a what's that 6-mana creature? That every time an opponent draws a card, you draw 2. You may draw 2. What's that creature called? What's that creature? Please tell me. It's escaping me. What's the creature's name? Shit. Not Perplexing Chimera. Kenan runs it. Consecrated Sphinx. Thank you. And so basically, yeah. Consecrated Sphinx. So basically, there was a Bowmasters and a Consecrated Sphinx on board. And so basically, I cast a Flesh Duplicate, and the player with the Consecrated Sphinx said, "Look, I will deny all of my Consecrated Sphinx until your next turn if you kill the Bowmaster," because he knew that the Bowmaster was just not gonna fucking work. It was gonna get out of control. And so I looked at my hand, I saw an Ephemerate in my hand. So I was like, all right, I'll make that deal. You deny all your Consecrated Sphinx triggers until our next turn. So I ETB. Copy the Bowmaster, kill the Bowmaster, and then still during the same turn, I pop Ephemerate on my clone effect to flicker it, and it re-enters the battlefield and goes back to the rebound zone. I copied the Consecrated Sphinx, drew a shit ton of more cards, and then on my next upkeep, because somebody got stopped and they had a Grand Abolisher, the rebound went off, flickered the clone effect again, and then I copied the Grand Abolisher and then one protected. It was really fucking crazy as fuck, but yeah. We gotta figure out one more card, y'all. Okay. These seems like non-negotiables. I like having 2 of these effects. These are basically clone effects as well, which is really good. Retrieval maybe on the cutting block or Born. I just like, these are all interactive spells. These are 1 board wiping the list. These are all good. Final Force. Damn. Rift. I'm gonna be honest. I can't I gotta keep 1 board wipe in the list. We're not running any other board wipes. I think even though Rift, you never cast it overloaded, or you seldomly casting it. Thank you for the follow. Reeves. No, you seldomly ever overload it, but for me, and this is more of a personal conviction, I like to have at least 1 board wipe that I know that, like, hey, this board state is getting out of fucking control, or I can't even win through the current board state. Being able to end step Rift, or like just Rift in general, because of the amount of mana we're going to be creating, I think is really powerful. Just 1 board wipe is important, and this in most times it's single target, and it's a 2 mana single target, but that overload is crazy, bro. I'm not gonna cap. Especially because we're not running any other board wipes, which is tough. I'm not gonna lie. We're greedy, but not that greedy. Let's see. Fears, the Forest, the Flustered. These are non-negotiables. Mana Drain? No, fuck. I like the colorless mana. It's gonna help Offspring. Muddle the Mixture is a tutor. Shit, guys. What are we gonna do? Fuck. We need to cut 1 card. I think it may be Alchemist Refuge. I think red Elemental Blast or Mana Drain. Okay, so talk to me. Actually, I want to hear more. Talk to me. Why those 2 cards? I think, yeah, talk to me. I want to hear more. I can hear red Elemental Blast. It's like the question, because right now I want to let Alchemist Refuge go, but between Alchemist Refuge and red Elemental Blast, Alchemist Refuge more helps us do our strategy more than red Elemental Blast. It's a great counter spell, and it destroys heuristic setting and all those things, but Alchemist Refuge can actually be a removal spell plus a bounce spell for our Dockside or any other creatures that we may want to recast with Offspring. Red Elemental Blast only stops people. Mana Drain on the flip side, if you do Mana Drain versus red Elemental Blast, my thought process is that Mana Drain actively can help us win the game because the colorless mana can help push us those Offspring triggers out. Where on the flip side, red Elemental Blast, once again, it's only stopping the table. It's not helping us at all. I'd cut Mana Drain if you're on Power Blast. Oh, I'm not on Power Blast right now. Nah. That one's actually still in the sideboard. Let's see. I like the 1 mana removal. That's my only like reason. Y'all keep talking. Like right now, my thought process is like makes the poorest case for itself. Yeah, that's my thought process. Like, it's so hard to cut it because I run it in all of my Jeskai or red
even like if I'm running 4 or 5 color, I just run red elemental blast. It's like a habit, but it's kind of like I'm willing to try it without the list. Okay, I guess the question. All right, last question. How much 1 mana interaction? 2 mana interaction are we running right now? All right, 2 mana interaction. Let's see. These are not. These are all like creatures and shit. Okay, that's not that. Yeah. All right. We got Cyclonic Rift, Meta Drain, Mulligan Mixture. I'm not removing Mulligan Mixture because it's a very good tutor in Jeskai colors. But I'm not counting Blind Obedience. Yeah. We have 3 2-mana spells. What about our 1 mana interaction? We have Alchemist Refuge. It's technically 2 mana interaction, but it can be 1 mana interaction if we're trying to avoid one of our opponents copying one of our own things. So we can like bounce our own clone creature. Yo, what's up? Been watching your YouTube. How's the Satya deck been doing? Been contemplating it. Yo, Reeves, bro, I kid you not. Right now, that Satya list is fucking crazy, bro. Like, my win rate is through the roof. And I promise you, my favorite thing about the list is that I own, like, 90% of the games I lose nowadays are only because I make a mistake, not the deck. It's fucking, I'll say 80%. Like, 20% is just you lost because it is what it is. But, like, 80% of the games I lose is literally like, oh, I made a misplay. It was such a small misplay. I could have won, but I just mean just learning the list more. Practically, and he also says practically all of your counter spells answer the same thing. Red blast test. You're right. I feel like if I were to, I'm gonna try taking red blast out. It's really tough for me to say that, but I am gonna do it because at the end of the day, we're still running offer. We're still running chain. I just feel like in the energy of like, I just got to keep the same. My thought process, I need to keep the same energy. Like, at the end of the day, red elemental blast is only about stopping my opponents. And I know a lot of the counter spells are about that, but between that, like, I'd rather, if I had to choose between red and swan, I'd rather have swan. If I had to choose between, right, and I can't believe I'm saying this, like, I think it may be worth taking it out. Damn. I know bruh. Like, literally, it hurts my soul. Like, it's like the mono red, but it's mostly like what's hurting most is like the cEDH staple of the card. And it was like the same hang up I had about like Drannith the Magistrate or like these other staples that you have to run in your list. And I was just like, I remember when I first let Drannith go, or when I first let the One Ring go, and it was just like, I don't think it's good for the list. And right now, let's try it. Fuck it, man. Let's fucking try it. I'm going to take Red Elemental Blast out. Throw it to the sideboard, bro. I think it's such a great card, but I got to let it go. I think we're good, though. I think we did it, y'all. 27 lands. I think we made ourselves a cEDH list. Oh, clap yourself up. Shit. Man, good job, y'all. We did it. I need to like fucking get a Doro outro. Da-da-da-da-da-da. We did it. Let's see the colors spread out. We got 37, 37, 21, 20, and 48 to 43. We fucking did it. All right. Well, only thing left is to do a couple playtest hands, and then we're going to jump right into this gameplay. I already got my guy B-Rad in the chat. We already got Littlest Minch in the chat. We're going to have one more of my homies are going to be in the chat. So we're going to get the gameplay in soon, but we're going to do some playtest hands first to see if this actually thing works. Like, hopefully it works. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna roll a d8 and we'll say 1, 2 is 1 and so on and so forth. It's a 4, so we're saying we're going second. I'm gonna see my first hand. Let's see. First 7 is LED Plateau, the One Ring. Oh, I gotta choose people, so I'm going second. Let's say first is going TNK. I'm going second. Kennen is going third, and fourth is Rockside. Before we do this, we have Reeves says Alchemist Refuge puts in work in my Brea. I love value breaching and throwing it back to my hand. Oh shit, that's a nice line. Thank you. You made me feel a lot better, bro. I really like that. I like that. Thank you for saying that, Reeves. First 7 though. LED Plateau, the One Ring, Savine's Reclamation, Flesh Duplicate, Ristic Study, and Simian Spirit Guide. This is so fucking close. I would keep it if we had one blue source of mana, because I see it a potential turn 2 Ristic Study. It's like, yeah, just literally, that's what I'm seeing right now. Potential turn 2 Ristic Study, but there's no blue source of mana. So I gotta throw it back. Notably, the One Ring is here, and we are nowhere near casting. I may take the One Ring out of this list too. We will see though. Let's see our second 7 though. Oh, it's a keep. What I see is an Arid Mesa for a, how many more? See a Tundra, go for fish. Turn 1, turn 2, go play a paddle, hold up silence, and we just see what we draw into. Yeah, this is an easy keep. Next 5, Kenny, you, Tally, and Magda. Okay. I'll take those pods. I'll take that pod next. So yeah, this is a keep second 7. I'm the person. I'm gonna keep a fish. This is 2 lands. Like I said, Tundra, and our first draw for turn would be Chromox. This is fucking great. This fish is not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm gonna tell you how crazy I am. I would pitch the Simian Spirit Guide to the Chromox so then we can hold up a white and a blue on our second turn. So we can go like Arid Mesa, cast fish, Chromox, pitch the Simian Spirit Guide to make temporary mana into permanent mana. Or the Burgie. Like, Burgie's not really doing anything, but I do like that at least we can get it down as a body and it can eventually build to something later, but that's not the point. But on turn 2, when we pay for fish with the Chromox, with either pitching the Simian or the Burgie, we can hold up in the Plateau and the Tundra to hold up silence and any other counter magic we get up. So this is a great, we have Rockside in the pod. That's stopping early Rockside when attempt. TNK's going first, so they're going to help with the stopping. Kennon's doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? Kennon's not been too much for Boogeyman as much, but yeah, like this is nothing but work. So we'll do a second playtest hand, roll another D8. We're going second again. So we're going to take Littlest Minch's pod. Let's say it's going to be Kenny. So we're going to have Kenrith, me, Talion's going to be going 3rd, and then Magda's going to be 4th. So immediately when I look at this pod, we have Kenrith going first. I need to be conscious about my artifact count because an explosive Dockside can allow them to win as early as turn 2 because they're going first. So, and they have a Magda at the pod as well. So it's just too scary. The 2 scary decks for me that I see in my mind are Kenrith and Magda. Magda because they can both drop a crazy stack speed or a crazy explosive win, and Kenrith because 5 colors, anything, like until you talk to them and kind of figure out what type of Kenrith brew they're brewing, they can be running Adnaz, Necro, Breed, they can be running so many things, plus Dockside's another scary thing. So Talion, I'm not too much scared about. I would like, my more thought process is I want to be aware about running into their counter spells as they play more control. So let's see a first 7. Only gameplay. Okay, this is all right. So we have Sacred Foundry, Ragavan, and a Mox Opal, and then turn 2 we can have Blind Obedience. I'm gonna throw this back, but if I was going 3rd or 4th, I'd say yes. I'm going 2nd, so I want to find me a draw engine. I want to be a little more greedy. This doesn't have a game plan. I'm gonna be honest though, I do like that it has a Blind Obedience because it counters the things that scare me in this pod, which is Dockside and Magda just being able to do Magda stuff. Granted, they can still sack the treasures to the Magda's ability, but they won't be able to use the treasures to push things out. So I love seeing Blind Obedience, but I'm gonna go for a second 7. Let's just be a little more greedy. Okay. So we have Steam Vents, Talisman Creativity, Sing in the Stupor, Sword Splasher, Mystical Tutor, Mockingbird, and Muddle the Mixture. You know what? Okay, so check this out. There's specifically somebody in the pod that I love seeing in the pod. Fucking Talion. I like seeing Talion in this pod because it allows me I can leverage my Mockingbird to make a copy of Talion as soon. The thing is, I'm ahead of Talion, so that may end up being a turn 3 Mockingbird, which is not the end of the world, but it's kind of like that's still slower. Who have I got? Kenny and Magda. Magda may already have it by then, or Kenny. This is close. We're not playing Rite of Flame either, so I can't Mystical Tutor for a Rite of Flame to push out the Talisman on turn 2. So it's kind of like I do love seeing clone effects when I'm playing against Talion though. Nope, ignore that. Well, you can do the turn 2 Offspring Mockingbird. True, I can do the 2 CMC offering Mockingbird. Like I could go. No, I can't because once again, I won't have white pips to push out the commander, and that would still be turn 3. This is a closer, but we'll throw it back. But big point I would say is I love seeing clone defense when I'm going against Talion. The problem is seat order is kind of fucked up right now. Unless they put out a Talion out on turn 1, which doesn't always happen, it more usually may see it on turn 2, like they'll vamp for like a J-Lo or some shit like that. I'm basically sitting there with this Mockingbird waiting until turn 3 to clone their Talion, and by then it may be too late to like actually get as much value as I maybe want to get. So I'm gonna check out my 6. Ooh, this is so close. I love me the Esper Sentinel, but no lands. So if we get mental missteps with the other 2 players, I'm gonna be honest, dog. If this gets mental misstep, we're not doing anything. There's 1 black mana player, 2 black mana players. So this also can get Bowmaster. It's such a close hand. What I love about this hand is it could be Lotus Petal into Esper Sentinel. We pass. We probably will bottom probably the Aether Channeler. I like Storm Drake to be able to take Italian. But if we top deck a land, that's cool. If not, it's still not the end of the world. This is a game. We're going second to a chat. Should I take this hand and just see what's on top? I'm not gonna lie. I would throw this back because this is a 6. I would bottom the Aether Channeler because we don't need it right now. We have, like, look, it's like we have combo, we have counter magic for a crazy opening from player 3 or 4, or anybody. We have Imperial Recruiter, so we just need mana at this point to win. If we have a combo line enabler, we have Volatile Storm Drake, so once we get 2 mana, we can take something, and we have another draw engine in hand. It's just not enough mana. I'm going to 5, bro. All right, I'm gonna check the top card. If it's a land, then it's what it is. I'm going to 5 though. What is it? Okay, good. What was the second draw? Okay, we weren't gonna get there. Okay, all right, we were a good sums away. So we may have gotten that land drop, maybe, but no, we did right. Let's check out 5 land, and we are doing nothing. So this is a 5. We are hoping to get a land drop in our first 2 draws. We could, at that point, if we get a land drop in the first 2 draws, hold up on Archivist or Muddle. But we're really not worried about a turbo. But this is a little crazy, but I'm gonna go check out a 4. Yeah, I think the 4 can be better than this. Okay, this is something. I like this. With the pod full of Kenny, Talion, Magda, we are back on that blind obedience. The 4 that I'd be keeping would be land. Oh, this is fucking tough. Okay, this one I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest. I probably should keep double land, but what I want to keep is, I know for a fact I'm going to keep a land, Soul Ring, and Intuition. That is mana and a game plan. So as we continue to play the game, everything's going to just continue to move forward. I want to keep the blind obedience as well because it can slow the pod down to the fact that we're at 4 cards. I'm fine with letting Mystical Tutor and Mindbreak Trap go. I wish this was a 7. So the choice would be, do we keep the Bloodstained Mire or the blind obedience? I think since we're at a 4, we have to think more about our own game plan. Even though I know the blind obedience will be great against our opponents, we have to make sure we hit our land drops to put our own game plan out. Y'all let me know what you think in chat, but that's what I'm thinking right now. We would be bottoming blind obedience, Mystical Tutor, and Mindbreak Trap. I would have to hope that the Talion would be able to control the table because I can't beat Mr. Control for this table at a Molda 4. Our first draw for turn would be a Fierce Guardianship. We would just push out turn 1 Soul Ring. Turn 2, I usually like doing my fetches first, so I'll probably pop out Bloodstained Nire, go get a Tundra, Soul Ring, and then turn 2 would change because we shuffle. But yeah, that works. And what I like about this, I love that we have the initial 7 of just 8 fish, keep it. But I like how we were able to go down to 4, and we actually had a solid game plan, being able to choose, like, do we want to keep the blind obedience or the intuition or the land? And I think we made the right choice. We let the blind obedience go, but now we can hold up a hard casted Fierce or turn 2. You know what I'm saying? Letting go of the Mindbreak Trap and the blind obedience, I think, was the right choice because that Fierce Guardianship really can do some work in this pod. It probably won't do too much against Magda, but we're gonna have to hope once again that the Talion player helps get us across the bridge. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you all for being an amazing audience and an amazing team. Y'all are all part of the ThunderConductor community. You all fucking rock and you're fucking amazing. And I just want to say, if you're looking for more ways to support the show, there are a plethora. Starting off with our ThunderConductor merch, it is my way to give y'all the softest, smoothest merch on this side of the internet. We also have our ThunderConductor proxies. It is my way to create increased access. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I have a lot of these proxies for this actual list pre-made, all with that beautiful ThunderConductor logo on the back, all cardstock. Beautiful cardstock proxies right here and ready. So I'm actually almost ready to like pretty do things. I'm just going to sleeve it up before I get into the gamepod. I'm really excited. So y'all stay tuned for that. Not to mention though, we do have our ThunderConductor community. I've been saying you all are already part of the community just for being interacting in the chat. Y'all are fucking awesome. I want to say a big thank you for who just followed, that you are fucking amazing as well. But if you want extra perks like playing on our live streams, shouts on our streams and our YouTube videos, as well as free proxies and discount codes, check out the Thunder Legion. You get all these perks and more. Just check us out in there. We really get active in that community as well, and it's just really dope. So let's continue to grow that community as well. And last but not least, I just gotta say it: if you don't want the proxies, the merch, or the proxies, the merch, or the Patreon, you just want to say one time for the fun time, I want to support your tea and I love what you do, check the link out in the bio. You can buy me a coffee. It keeps me up and keeps the lights on. But with that being said, I gotta let y'all go. I will see y'all soon in this Zinnia gameplay segment. Y'all be easy. Peace.